this game.
We might just be on stream only.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my bad. Let me move my shit.
That light seems brighter somehow.
Ah!
Oh, God.
No, yeah, you know why? With these lights, if the power turns off, it readjusts.
Oh,
it goes back to
like max.
Yeah. No, it goes to like it goes sets to whatever its default setting was. So it might have had some lower or higher.
Maybe not. Off campus. Copy.
All right.
Copy.
Okay.
Oh, who lives in the pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants.
Arg.
Arg.
Righty.
Impunity goes in for another KO. Oh my gosh, he's got a family.
Just fucking power out. You know when you started singing the what is it, the SpongeBob theme song?
Yeah.
I started thinking of our Uber driver. Started playing.
The most random playlist I've ever heard.
I love that playlist. I love her music taste, by the way.
You know what that meme is? Like music for people who like have
Say they listen to everything?
They listen to everything. Yeah, that's what that was.
I fuck with
Oh. Looks like we're back into the game in some capacity. Oh, they're just in the band.
Who is on TikTok right now? Who is on TikTok? I hear you.
It's our camera person.
No. I heard it through.
No, it's the camera person. Yeah, they gotta do the band.
They gotta do all the bands and stuff.
I don't think my internet's working still.
Wait, I think our audio is live, by the way.
Is it?
Our audio's live.
is
Audio's live. Audio's
Okay,
live.
cool.
Our audio's live. Our audio's live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are getting into this game. It is Fisher Esports versus North Georgia Blue. They're just resetting the bands themselves. The power outage specifically was from off campus, so of course no danger to anyone in the venue. But getting back into things here again, you know, it was only a couple minutes into Symbiotic Surface, so not too big of an issue. They're keeping the bands the same. The biggest thing here, though, University of North Georgia know the strategy now for this Fisher Esports roster. So now they got to know how to prepare at least a little bit better for, you know, what compositions they can come out the gate from and what they can expect to be playing against. So maybe that's going to be a little bit of a different story here for these teams, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, they might open on, you know, stuff like Thing and Punisher. I don't expect anything to change too crazy, right? Like, Gambit's still open, Rogue is still open, Star-Lord is still open. Like, the tried and true combos are still available for Fisher Esports and UNG, but, you know, get a redo, do-over. Nothing happened. What is it, the Men in Black, they wiped your memory.
Exactly, and you know, speaking of characters that are all black, kind of, except for the white, you know, Spider-Man symbol that we have there, Impunity in the Venom here, just trying to make sure that they can be the menace that they were in the first initial map that we had here before the reset, right? For this second map. And again, this is the counter pick for University of North Georgia. They had a full hold themselves. They were almost getting full health. So their game plan is to, one, have some not go down if he's on Star-Lord again and ulting. I do like the strategy from them, immediately going for the portal play onto the objective. So we'll see then we get back on there really quickly, and I like this change. That was going to get the portal through, and nobody was pushing them early on.
Yeah, they did know that the portal was coming through here. I think it was scouted out by Impunity or someone from Fisher Esports' side right now, but fighting on to the point like you mentioned. Smashed with the triple, though, onto Phil's 7-9 off of the E from the Star-Lord, and portal or not, that's a hold.
Momentum getting a double KO themselves as well is massive on this play, right? Slicing and dicing with their own claws, and now they're actually swapping from the Doctor Strange Tricksman back on to the Vanguard Deadpool. And we saw how good, you know, Dogman was on the Vanguard Deadpool, but discussion is kind of top position. So, tough spot with the if you are North Georgia going down, so they can also focus on the May, right? You do not want to have to worry about that Raging Royal Flush early on. Lions got some time to build those up, especially after they lost that first fight. Beauty Smash momentum already, just getting rid of everyone in their way. The double pull from Smash. Looking for a triple. Momentum really taking all of the credit, though, for this fight.
Smash and Momentum, the tried and true combo for Fisher Esports, is coming and doing what their namesake is doing, right? They're smashing with momentum. That's literally what's happening here for Fisher Esports, and UNG don't really have anyone to stop it. 60% on that Raging Royal Flush County. Heartbreaker is available. Smash Party takes down Build, and in a Star-Lord 1v1, Smash is the last person that I want to go up against.
Jimmy, I just want to say, earlier you were saying the buff for Star-Lord wasn't, too effective, and I feel like Smash is just laughing in your face at this point, especially with how effective he's been in the neutral, not even having to show all the boost of ultimate. They have all of them available. 2 minutes left on the clock for UNG, and they only have a clobber shot, which is now taken away because of the Heartbreaker.
And Dongman just using that Heartbreaker into multiple members of UNG and surviving, getting out. Kind of approachable when used like that. Fisher Esports, mind you, they got 5 in the bank here. UNG will have 5 on themselves, but the question is, in a game of Gambit, Chicken, Raging Royal Flush, the Squad is able to take down Dongman, Smash, take down 9 in the process. Tickle Fist is going to pop that internal bond, though, that's going to give them that sustain that's needed. I believe Kumio Unleash was also used, but unfortunately, Build was able to take down Momentum. Smash is going to pop the Raging Royal Flush, plus the Legendary isn't enough, though. Flamay takes down Self, Flamay takes down Build, and it might be the Flamay show.
Huge from Flamay. They do eventually go down, but the rest of it is able to clean up the pieces. University holds for 1 minute and another hold, but look at all the ultimates available for UNG.
Yes.
They use the portal early too, so might still have that as a last-ditch effort if they need to touch before this minute is gone. And Pewdie, though, does have the Feast of the Abyss, so expect them to ult on the back line when they can dive in, and they're only doing a little bit of damage, but they can proc back their skill and HP with the bonus after going with the Feast of the Abyss. Doesn't get the KO that they wanted, but they at least distract them. They have the ultimate to the Raging Royal Flush combo.
Yeah, the Legendary Flush coming out now from UNG. Still looking for more, but Fisher Esports expertly kiting it out. They play a little bit of a hide and seek. Peekaboo is now. They're going to come back in. KM Lord with the range of Ultra on the resub with that Judge Executioner. Unfortunately, gets taken down immediately. Fisher Esports, Dongman and the crew easily kite out the Legendary Flush from UNG and re-hit with the range of Ultra.
KM Lord out dueling Trickspan on that play as well. Just bobbing and weaving, not even using the movement abilities available to the Ultron, and this damage goes, this Smash is too effective. Portal comes through for the last ditch effort, gets the overtime touch, and Quad Squad goes through the abyss and tries to find some sort of answer for this team, but they need a KO, they need a hero, and they got 6 of them, but none of them are working.
Unfortunately, Dongman is going to pop that Heartbreaker as they come into the ultimate. Luckily, the Eternal Bond is able to come in for Tickle Fist. Looking at UNG, they're very close to some key ultimates. So look at Smash from Fisher Esports. Legendary is up and available. And Smash says, you know what, I'm going to pop it because we're losing this team fight. Tickle Fist does go down. Can Smash get more? It's the 5v5 onto the point right now. Just make sure you do not see 9. You've got to contest. We are in overtime territory. 95% and counting for UNG. Can they take us to a point 2? Can they further this match?
9 focusing down Smash and takes him out of the equation, and now we hear UNG holding things down. They do manage to capture the point. No fold held here.
Woo, there we go. Last ditch effort. The Strange Portal is the savior for UNG, and let's see if they can push it a little bit farther. 2.5 minutes only available to get it across this second point. Fisher Esports have done a pretty good job at holding them as they fumbled at the last second, and UNG did a really good job juggling their ult usage. Build, by the way, swapped over to the Atom. They are running this triple composition here. Triple strategy, triple tank.
I love this look from UNG. Keeping that team alive as best they can, but Mills goes down so quickly right before they have the ultimate. There's a cocoon, so they do have the rest available to them. Tricksman, we'll see if they can build up another of this. That ult again, Smash very much so just shut them down straight from Ultron. KM Lord, they're getting all the KOs for their team, even with the rest is coming in.
KM Lord does take down Tickle Fist, takes down Quad Squad as well. thought he would be a little ineffective on the Ultron, or maybe at least less effective than he was on the Mantis, but whatever sort of camp that they had him go through yesterday, last night, has been paying dividends here. He picked up the Ultron, the Mantis, and even has the Luna just in case, but it doesn't matter. Esports, the ultimate 10-count match, has that legendary, again, Flamay working towards that Radiant Royal flush as well, 95%, but Dongmin goes down, Bills with another snipe on the Atom, has been kind of lethal on it.
Really good on that. Alive. A little bit longer and faster comes in though with the Raging Royal plus Galactic Legend combo. Does get one for the road, but there's still most of the members remaining. They get the big pick though onto 9. Time is down, and they don't have the Royal Flush available as they would like to build the down. They don't have build up to the res either, so let's not wait for the Galactic Legend or the Royal Flush to be available for 9. We'll keep them alive in this fight.
Yeah, like you said, Raging Royal Flush has been used. Quick Bend will take on Dongmin once again. I feel like every time Fisher Esports doesn't engage in anything, Dongmin, the first one to go down, the fodder for the team. Does have the Heartbreaker available if he's able to get back. It's 7 seconds and counting here. We are going to get into an overtime situation. UND, no ultimates to work with. Dongmin and Momentum, the Kumiho and the Heartbreaker. That's going to be the difference maker for Fisher Esports to win this fight and set them on the attacking side next round.
Yet again, massive pick, 9 bearing down, Auburn time gets 3 for Fisher Esports. This could be the turnaround that they needed, especially with Trickman getting 1, getting 2. Can they get a third on the KM Lord? We're still stay alive for now, and Fisher Esports holding them in OT for now.
Fisher Esports trying their hardest here. KM Lord looking for Quad Squad. He goes down. Can some get the teleport off? One more, but unfortunately, they can't. And UNG get hold to about a 1.5 here. Okay. But honestly, with the way it was looking earlier, they almost got full held. So there is a world where UNG can win this. Mind you, the last time these two teams faced off, Audible, you talked about it, Fisher Esports got full held.
That's true. So a much better performance, I could say, here for Fisher Esports. So we'll have to see what they can do going forward. Smash with 15 eliminations, only 2 KOs against them. Flamay only went down twice as well. KM Lord, though, biggest improvement thus far. Only going down once, getting 6 final hits, and a lot of healing for their team as well in this triple strategist comp. But speaking of heals, look at Tickle Fist at 9. 25K, 20K just in the first 10 minutes of this game, essentially. So massive plays to keep their team alive throughout those fights and also build up that ult charge, but unfortunately not working as effective as they would like. So a bit of a different strategy that they're going for. Still the triple, but you see Bills is not going to be on that.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Swapping over to the Rocket Raccoon, Tickle Fist as well. Again, not my favorite variation of triple strategist. This time you do have 3 tanks though, or Vanguard, so that delayed ultimate charge that we talk about when you run triple main, it is not as bad here. Fisher Esports though, they're going to stick to what's working. Infinity though is going to go onto the Doctor Strange Smash, going to be on that solo duelist carry here on the Star-Lord, and Fisher Esports, uh-oh, that's a double shield. I think Dongmin is just here for the bubble, just in case, but we'll swap back to that rogue after that. There we go. Here comes the TP. Maybe Fisher Esports is going to show UNG how it's done, as Dongmin immediately takes down Bills. Wipe this fight very cleanly. Dongmin already picks up some of these strategists on UNG's side are getting cornered into the building, and unfortunately when they go down, your triple Vanguard composition loses all sorts of sustain. Fisher Esports in less than a minute are able to cap point 1. It's gonna be really interesting now, you know, this hold comes in 5.5 minutes for UNG to try and win this map. They've got to hold them to 1.5 points here, or just a little bit less than 109 meters. I've seen crazier comebacks before, so I'm not going to count UNG out just yet.
Chance for a long amount of time for them, so we'll see what they can do. University of North Georgia with some going down quickly. Single Fist barely staying alive, but they are going to be using the Focus Dagger bubbles to keep themselves sustained on this that's good. So much room has been made by Fisher Esports. Computer Room, Ultimate Charge as well on their side. Smash has the Scholastic Legend available. Royal Flush about to be online. The Heartbreaker does come out from Dominant. They will be the ones to carry this forward towards the potential finish line. Halfway there now. Leadership moving forward. And noted for North Georgia to stay alive in this fight. Backline deleted. Will's the only one up, and they still have the coverage on Amplifier, but not enough time to use it. All of the strategies are down for North Georgia, and just the Vanguards remain.
Fortunate for UNG. They do have the CYA back up on spawn. Someone needs to swap over to the Star-Lord immediately. 75 meters and counting, about 30 to go, and Summer's gonna swap over to the Moon Knight.
Okay.
Wait a minute, we might see the Strangling Prison, Hand of Khonshu combo. UNG have a lot of ultimates to work with. They gotta counter Fishers effectively. LeMay is gonna pop the Raging Royal Crush. Ayavagamotto from impunity lands on the 4 members of UNG, and down go everybody. Fisher Esports with a massive Ayavagamotto to send them up 2-0.
Dr. Strange looked through all of the multiversal possibilities to see which one would guarantee them the victory, and that will be the Eye of Agamotto that gets them the win here in Map 2. One game away that Fisher Esports are from crowning themselves the first ever NECC National Marvel Rivals champions.
The MVP, Impunity, they're 45-2 and 11. What a score there, and capping that last team fight off, Raging Royal Flush into a 4-man Eye of Agamotto to wipe UNG off the board. Very well played to Fisher Esports. They are now just one game away, like you mentioned, to be crowned the NECC Marvel Rivals Championships, and the champions here as well. I mean, you talked about Avaudible. You talked to Fisher yesterday. They said no messing around. Is this exactly what you expected?
I think this is what I expected. I mean, especially seeing them focus on things as well. But we're going to be sending over to a break. We'll get things fixed just after this.
Definitely not. My TikTok audience will clown the crap out of me.
Hi, chat. If you can hear us, hope you hear me. This is the disembodied voice of Yahweh. Is that voice correct? Cast some art. Copy. Copy. I'm gonna like turn it around when you're like talking to me and stuff too. What's the voice line that Loki uses? I need it.
Your powers are mine.
Your powers are mine. Hey guys, Loki clone Shivy here.
Oh, you guys. Should be here.
Ooh, Midtown. Just, you know, came to me in a vision.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
In a fever dream.
Amy sent it to my family group, bro.
Copy. What's the line again? Your powers. Oh yeah, your powers.
There's heroes on the street.
Shibby, your powers are mine as we are back from the break here for another game here for the Marvel Rivals Championship for NECC. The Nationals are happening here and now, and it might be a 3-0 sweep going on. Yeah, had to bring out the Loki clone here for a second. We had some mischief going on.
Yeah, really, I think it's really amazing that we have cutouts and I can't. Yeah, well, Fisher up 2-0.
That's true.
Now one map away from securing the grand champions or the championship, whatever you want to call it, being crowned the best collegiate Marvel Rivals team of this year. And I think it's important to remind everybody that, yeah, this is the first collegiate Marvel Rivals Championship. This first LAN event of the year, and we've got so much more, and I'm really excited to see how the space develops. We've got already teams like Fisher signing on pros. I mean, you've got teams like UNG competing with the best of it, taking maps and taking series.
True. Taking games.
Yeah, taking games as well. And just a quick thing to note, Fisher Esports is actually up 2-0, and yeah, there's our actual stuff there. Yeah, they're up 2 maps. Obviously, the power outage is going to show something different, but we are going to go to Convoy, Midtown specifically. Vaudable, this is one of your favorite maps.
I love this map, yeah, for good reason. I mean, we've seen it a lot with these matchups as well, but looking at this one here too, I mean, not too surprised with the bans, right? UNG, they are tired of having to deal with that White Fox. It has been a menace, and Jeff, of course, getting immediately saved so that they can go Venom Jeff for the symbiote shenanigans, and also have the team up with Deadpool as well. The interdimensional toy box, it covers your screen with just random stuff from Deadpool specifically, and then also seeing how it goes from then on out to using the healing of it is just a massive, like, secondary ultimate almost for Jeff with those team ups.
Yeah.
And that's why you see the Venom ban come out.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really important that they are taking away those tools, right? UNG kind of need to figure out what works for them. They were, I think, kind of close. They had some stuff open here and there, but I don't think you want to give away Gambit, as the Strange is banned out, the Jeff save like you mentioned, and UNG. Now the question is, now that Fisher knows that they're a better Gambit team, I mean, on paper, obviously, we just got to see it. Does Fisher just save
it?
this? Yeah, like,
I mean,
that's what I would do.
It. I would be too surprised if the Gambit save comes through. Mantis makes sense. I mean, I felt like the Ultron was doing well, but this isn't really that much of an Ultron map, personally. I mean, a lot easier to play Mantis specifically. The ultimate has a little bit more value, too, because you're not just like a sitting duck in the air, based on how they were using their ults last time on Symbiotic Surface there, too. So now seeing us on Midtown Convoy, it's a little bit of a different strategy, and I feel like the Cloak and Dagger is going to be even more effective, right? Using those eternal bonds, creating that space towards the objective, and then getting rid of the Gambit, of course. They saw, how things went last time. They can only ban one of the 3 pieces of that team up with the Star-Lord or the Gambit or the Rogue, and Gambit kind of gets rid of both of those.
Yeah, I think one thing to mention is that UNG actually did do a substitution. Tickle Fist is going to be out, and Kung Fu Panda 2, say that 5 times fast, is in, and that Lord Ultron, kind of indicates to me that they want to go some sort of triple strategist composition. Instead, we do see the Cloak and Dagger. 9 is going to go on to what I believe is either an Invisible Woman or a Jeff the Land Shark. I like the group ban as well. I think on Midtown specifically, group can get a ton of value. Also, the setup with Moon Knight can be pretty disruptive. What are Fisher Esports planning? What are they cooking up right now? Because I see a triple-triple, which is a very common strategy, specifically on Convoy, right?
Yeah.
First point.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw like North Georgia try to go with like a Storm in some case for like the spawn breakaway. We've seen the Storm Moon Knight be so effective too in the past, and especially if you are potentially going up against a triple Vanguard, triple strategist lineup that has been successful before. But again, not having the Namora available, that's been the constant here. We saw how effective it was the last time that it was played for UNG, so that's why it's been the first ban from Fisher. They've learned from their mistakes throughout each of the maps, and hopefully they'll be able to turn things around, at least at the start here on defense, because this is the counter pick for UNG, and I feel like UNG have a unique strategy for this one.
Psych, some on the Hella here, and immediately swaps over to Moon Knight, which I love to see, and like you said, there could be a Storm in plays as well. Fisher Esports immediately spot that out. This triple-triple, though, especially with this Penny, it's a little different. Storm, Moon Knight, the classic, spawn break composition used at almost every level of play in competitive, but the Moon Knight is going to take out KM Lord immediately. Remember, they put him through a boot camp, right? The Ultron, the Mantis, and now the Luna is going to be put on that. Maybe he doesn't have the awareness or positioning that some of those other heroes would need, and might go down a lot sooner than you expect.
Yeah, I mean, 9 just position himself as best as they can to keep their team up, and there is that Storm, that Moon Knight that I was talking about and kind of expecting to see for that spawn break strategy. Moon Knight already having their ultimate available to them is a massive thing here, so Anakonshu should be coming out pretty soon if they can use it at the right time. They gotta hope that they don't get canceled as they are using their ultimate, especially with the way the Diamond was pushing up, but now they don't even have to worry about it. Momentum actually is going to be using their ult to reposition and try to keep their team alive with that extra healing AoE around it. And I like the more defensive style usage of the Jeff ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have anything, you can't really just ult into 5 members. Now, you're going to pop the Monster Hulk here. Hand of Conchu does go down, so this Monster Hulk is going to get absolutely shredded immediately. Very well played from UNG. Dongmin does trade 9 in the process. Smash going back over to that Star-Lord, taking down Bills, who's on the Storm, and the triple composition for Fisher Esports has been abandoned for something much more traditional.
Yeah, I do like Dongmin though on this Vanguard Jet Pool. If they can build up that gun ultimate, it'll be a lot more effective to shut down the strategists in the backline. Get all the ultimates though, make a Hurricane coming through. There will be that ultimate from Dongmin, but he immediately goes down, so it doesn't really matter. Invisible Boundary can't save them for now. Galactic Legend though comes out, and there goes down Storm and Kung Fu Panda before they can even use their ultimate. 9 trying to use the tech for Jeff. Gets both of the strategists trying to go off the map if they can, or at least far enough away from the Hulk, who is just pummeling them behind. Gets the health back though, and sends it back into their own team spawn to shut them down. KM Lord is at least able to stay alive though because the Hulk.
Yeah, nice Gamma bubble coming out from Impunity. I mean, that is a bodyguard if needed. Both strategists got taken into the abyss there, and they're like, no, I need to save everybody. As now Trickman is going to drop the banhammer back down onto KM Lord, who does have that Luna Snow ultimate available very soon. The timing and positioning is going to be important. They're going to pop it right now, right to contest this end of the first point. Eternal Bond gets thrown in between as well. Hand of Conscience goes down towards the end of the Blue Both Worlds. Momentum though, using that Jeff ultimate defensively. Impunity back onto the Monster Hulk, and a nice eat coming out as it's going to take a teammate and the Moon Knight away.
And the Moon Knight's been like the biggest thorn in their side this entire time, right? Especially with the Enclave, they've been able to position their ultimates too and just shut down any lane of entry from Fisher Esports. On this objective, but they gotta get onto the objective to stop it for it. Keeps on going forward. Impunity does use their Monster Hulk form, but it's still pushing forward. Nobody touched it in time, and they were kiting away from the objective before actually playing it.
And Impunity got knocked up or bounced up in the air, so couldn't contest with the Monster Hulk as they would have liked. And now stuck in the middle of UNG, is able to jump out of there. Fisher Esports, though, have swapped to a much different backline. Flamay, no stranger to the rocker, Akumi played that at the highest level of play. Now Dongmin going to drop the banhammer onto the backline of UNG. 9 is going to use their own Jeff ultimate. This is an area where you can take people off of the map.
Actually what they're trying to do onto Flamay, who was the biggest thorn in their side on map 1 specifically, so they can get the elimination before the Toxic Amplifier. But they got the ultimate off, and that's the biggest thing. Will stay up there, at least for the moment, but there is going to be the Tricksman ultimate here, making sure that they can use the banhammer on the KM Lord, try to take them down. And I love KM Lord actually on this Luna Snow. I feel like they're getting a lot more effectiveness out of it.
Really good patty cake coming out from Fisher Esports here. Momentum keeping their other strategies alive. Smash unfortunately goes down in the background of everything, unable to pop the legendary. UNG, the Tricksman on this Deadpool has been infinitely more effective than anything else. And the Hurricane is going to come in right now. Let's see if there's enough, strategist healing to go through. A lot of patty cakes, plus got the Jeff healing bubble inside. And yeah, I mean, that Storm ultimate effectively nullified. Dongmin's able to take them out.
Massive plays by Fisher Esports. Monster Hulk form coming out here again. World Breaker has been unleashed, but there has been a Kung Fu Panda 2 also released in theaters and on the objective as well, using their Eternal Bond efficiently. So completely nullifying the ultimate from Impunity, didn't even get much value out of it. But momentum going down, and Smash as well reduces a lot of the effectiveness of Fisher Esports on this hold, and even with Cam Lord ulting, it feels a little bit late.
Impunity punching punch as much as he can onto UNG there, and everybody's got to back up at the moment. Fury does go down, gets a little too overconfident, and Dominant being the sole Vanguard on point, I don't think he can actually hold this, so UNG doing a good job kiting everything out, and now Tricksman is going to drop his own Banhammer onto the back line here. 9 does have the Jeff ultimate available, and right here on this final, on this second point here, you can take them off the map into that railroad station if you swallow up a couple members.
I'm liking this change up as well from Impunity back onto the Captain America. I think the positioning that they can get from it in the Freedom Charge, at least keeping the team sustained, going their ultimates faster is a good option. But Flamme does need to use their ultimate before they get up here. KM Lord is going to be the one focused on, and instead they're seeing if they can at least get one more member of the other team. So they will barely be able to escape. I was going to say, I don't know how Momentum is just toying with them, letting them get through as much as they can, but KM Lord is saved, and Fisher Esports, they do save at least the run here on Midtown for now. Assemble comes through from Impunity just for fun, but they don't have the Doctor Strange teleport again, and we'll see if that is the demise of this UNG roster this go-around as well.
I wonder if UNG is going to try to come out with a triple-triple composition. They actually played it last map and, you know, was somewhat effective until Fisher Esports kind of, you know, swapped over, played a little bit more damage. And Fisher Esports obviously very, very capable of handling a triple-triple composition, something they play against all the time on the first point convoy stuff. But Smash has just been amazing, right? 7 finals, 13-5 on the Star-Lord. Granted, he has been boosted, let's say, by the rest of his team. The triple strategist composition specifically just allows him to pop off consistently and be the carry that Fisher Esports needs. UNG, though, there's a hero I see on the side that you have been hoping for, some on the Wolverine, something we saw in their first matchup.
I am so surprised that it's taken 6 maps again, or I guess 7 maps actually, against Fisher Esports throughout this competition to pull out a Wolverine against them. I feel like the Wolverine gets so much value based on the composition that we've seen from Fisher Esports, you know, separating a lot of the players from the heals, but also taking down Dongmin specifically on that Vanguard Deadpool. Like having someone be able to go toe-to-toe with them, isolate them from your back line, and at least dispossess them from the positioning that they are pushing forward uncontested time and time again. Like, you need to go toe-to-toe with him specifically. So, you know, the Wolverine Deadpool, we saw the movie, we've seen the action as well throughout Ignite, MRC, and now into the collegiate scene. We'll see if it's effective enough.
Nice. Maybe scoop this Captain America. It's a little tough sometimes about shifty they can be, but just protecting that back line, like you mentioned, not allowing any of these Vanguards to jump here. You can see some get a scoop here eventually. Unfortunately, does miss there, and it's a relatively long cooldown. You've got to wait about 12 seconds before it comes back up here. Fisher Esports have gotten a lot of free distance, though. Almost, what, 1/3 of point 1 underway without being contested here.
Yeah, they're giving them a lot of space. I think they're trying to hold on this second corner here as their objective for UNG. But the problem is 2 of their members going down. Tricksman before they can even use the Deadpool ultimate, either version of it. So tough spot to be in. We did see Dongmin use theirs as well. The freeze is massive too from this Flamme, who's actually swapped to the Luna Snow.
Yeah. KM Lord is back onto the Mantis. Momentum is going to stick around and stay on the Jeff the Landstar, who has been having, I think, slightly better ults than 9, but realistically, both these Jeffs haven't been able to get as much value as you would like to see. But honestly, it's not just about the ultimate, it's about the ability to pierce through your team, heal everybody, and do damage, which is exactly what Fisher Esports wants, especially when they're running a singular duelist. Yeah, it freezes. I mean, Flamme, that's what you get when you have a pro-level strategist on your team. Every single freeze with 100% accuracy.
Some back on to the Winter Soldier here to see if that'll be a difference maker for their team as well. Hopefully they can get a cracking impact before the second checkpoint is reached by Fisher Esports. But time is ticking down and nobody's near the objective. Bill's barely staying alive here as the Punisher almost has their ultimate available to them now, so they have to at least build it up as quickly as they can. Kung Fu Panda 2 forced to use the Eternal Bond. We see the Freedom Charge coming out from Impunity. Momentum focusing down on the Punisher, so they won't even be able to use their ultimate and baiting out so much time. They save themselves though with the grenade, and unfortunately do go down before they can pop it.
9's turn now, has the Jeff ultimate available. Can he take anybody off the map here? Has he snatched anybody? He's taken KM Lord, and is he gonna go for a ride? He's unfortunately getting focused down. Flamey trying to keep his strategy alive. What a freeze at the end. Flamey once again on this Luna. Freeze after freeze after freeze has been the momentum difference.
Gotta call him Mr. Freeze at this point based on the way that he's been playing this Luna Snow, but even then, Bills, for the second time in their lifespan, they have not been able to use their ultimate. As you mentioned, nor the objective, there's potential for a C9. They're pushing up so far forward for Fisher Esports. Flamey is going to be using the fate of both worlds to stay on the objective, but Bills pushes forward, uses the final judgment, and deletes everyone from the objective.
I was sweating just a little bit there, Audible. No one on UNG's side was contesting card until that last second. Fisher Esports 3.5 minutes to go. They've just got to get it a couple more meters, and they will be crowned your champions here at the NECC Nationals land. Cam Lord, Soul Resurgence available. Smash has the legendary at about 15%. Quad Squad has to be the hero. He has to save the Meteor Ram for the legendary. As I say that though, he's charged it, takes down Cam Lord, who was on that Soul Resurgence, but Dongman gonna throw the banhammer down. Smash has legendary available. Can Fisher Esports win this final team fight?
They're so close to glory and greatness, the first national champions in NECC history of Marvel Rivals, and Bill's doing everything that they can to prevent it. Huge shotgun punishers here. Impunity forced to back off, and Fisher Esports now have to reset.
UNG doing a fantastic job flipping the script, and now, because they waited so long, Smash's ultimate, his legendary, can get immediately nullified by Kung Fu Panda, who has the Eternal Bond available. Fisher Esports are so close, but UNG are denying them time and time again. They want to take it to a map 4. Eternal Bond gets used early to match Impunity's Freedom charge here. 9 does have the Jeff ultimate available. Momentum is going to try to use his. Who can he catch out? He's going deep into spawn. I'm not sure he's able to really get anybody. He's positioned behind them. Repositioned to get more damage and to bleed through everybody. 9 is going to use his It's Jeff. Legendary gets popped by Smash. Takes down multiple members and unfortunately only gets one E, but that is Flamey, who does have the Between Both Worlds. It's unable to be used for Fisher Esports because they're lacking in sustain.
Fate of Both Worlds not available for Fisher as time is ticking down even more so. This is the most heroic stop we have seen so far to date during this competition, and there's the final last stand, or final judgment, excuse me, coming through here from Vilson, just deleting one more member. I feel like it was used a little bit too early. They could have saved it for the next team fight. They want to make sure that they can at least hold down the cart for yet another minute.
Maybe thought there were more members available. Dongmin, though, gonna pop the banhammer. Flamey has Between Both Worlds available. Some Bracket Impact can be the hero. Let's see what they can do. Dongmin takes down Fails, armed and dangerous, ready to go. Can you get the execute? Can you get the reset? Impunity takes down Kung Fu Panda Dude, and Flamey has popped the Between Both Worlds. UNG desperately trying to make their last stand. This Meteor Ram lands on the KM Lord, but it isn't enough. Smash is taking down multiple members. Smash is going huge. Fisher Esports is going to wipe UNG off of the map, and they are your Forge SEC champions.
Massive win here for Fisher Esports. They get the national victory for NECC at the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship presented by Army National Guard. And they proved that they were the strongest team throughout the semester. They did so well in the fall into the spring, got their ticket here into the Boeing Center at Techport, and now they are able to make sure that they can lock down the victory with a 3-0 sweep. They lost in the group stages, turned things around in the playoffs, and they have been crowned your champions here and now.
The revenge is a bit as a dish best served cold, and unfortunately for UNG, they were on the receiving end of that. Fisher Esports locked in after that group stage loss, and they came back with a vengeance. I am really, really, really shocked at how dominant they were, right? Especially with how the group stages went, especially how those back and forth. There was a moment where I thought UNG could hold it, the way they were, winning fight after fight after fight towards the end, but unfortunately some pretty bad ultimate usage, right? I think that final judgment was the one that I looked at and I'm like, oh, if they had that there on those final fights.
I respect it, though. I respect it. I mean, you don't know exactly when the other team's going to be getting back into the fight, right? You think, okay, they might be holding as much as they can, using their ultimate to keep your team just backed up from the cart, especially if they did have that gun ultimate for the Deadpool, the banhammer, and able to get at least elimination from that. I mean, Dogman's a threat, so I understand why you want to use the ultimate too, just to get those confirmed. terms, but also trusting your teammates in those moments, right? I think that goes to show, a little bit of the experience gap between, the pro players and the collegiate players. They did the best that they could, though. That was an
100%.
amazing performance. So many teams would not have been able to hold as long as they did towards the end. The problem was they had to hold so long towards the end there. They weren't able to get towards that third checkpoint and guarantee themselves potential victory. But, I mean, hey, forcing Fisher to lock in, focus your top heroes in the bands. The warband from the start every single time was insane. So crazy to see how things were going there. But we are going to be setting it to the stage for the trophy. Take it away, Lemon.
Hey guys, welcome back to the main stage. Congratulations once again to Fisher Esports! And to give their trophy and say a few words is the director of NECC, it's Jacob Van Ryn.
Thanks, Lemon Kiwi. Flipping the script, the story of this weekend for these guys. Huge, huge performance here today. It's my distinct pleasure to present the championship trophy, well deserved, to Fisher College.
Yeah, that's all yours, that's all yours. Getting tackled out there, but at least you tackled your opponent. I'm here with LeMay, strategist extraordinaire from Fisher College, Fisher Esports, and despite everything, through rain, hail, whatever is out there, you still pulled out the sweep. What's it been like working with these guys?
It's been amazing. Getting to know them for the past 4 days has been extremely, I'm blessed for that, and I love these guys very much.
Yeah, I mean, you guys pulled through the teamwork. It was domination from start to end. And talk to me about the work that you had to do to pull off this win, because you're balancing a lot on your plate especially.
No practice, just lock in, go, keep on going as hard as we can.
Well, no practice, and you look, okay, you guys are really that crazy at the game. I mean, Fisher is one of the best schools for that. And, well, you guys are already celebrating with the trophy, but what are the plans? How are you guys celebrating later?
I can't see too much, but I think it's either K-Pod or Brazilian steakhouse. Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah, steak sounds amazing for champions. That is a dinner of champions. Give it up one more time for Fisher Esports! I'll let them get their photo op going, but guys, don't go anywhere. If you love Marvel Rivals, we have more of that around the corner.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life. You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay. So is this the last match on the main stream? Yeah, I was wondering about that. Okay, yeah, just need to know what like the flow will be for like end of show, essentially. Whenever you guys have it, of course. No rush. Need some Pepto.
Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah, I'm some Herbert.
Upset stomach, diarrhea. Oh, that person? Oh, yeah, the guy.
Worst case in the joint.
Fish is walking out. What man though?
Oh yeah, I see that.
Oh, they're Kylie's taking a picture for him. I always forget Tenso works for Fisher.
Yeah. I still haven't said hi to him.
I haven't said hi to him either.
He's just always been kind of like nowhere. I've not seen him at all except like in like outside at one point when he was leaving and then there.
Yeah.
Where it's just hidden. Was using his stealth.
I wonder what this high school meta is going to be. It'll be interesting.
So
Think we see a
I
Spider-Man?
did hear shout out Ari. I'm gonna shout out them. Will be coming because they've been casting all weekend. For the one team, the it's not Cavaliers. It's
Ari? Is it Ari Cass?
yeah. Ari's
She
been
does
casting
DDF?
remote. Yeah.
She's here?
No, remote. They have a lot of remote casters for EGF.
Yeah.
Nick was also doing prod stuff for them too.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
What was that? Crusaders. That's what it is.
Crusaders!
So for the Crusaders, Solo Vanguard Group, Iron Fist, Impossible, Phoenix, First Spark Delicious, Little Stratus, and Rocket White Fox. Isn't that crazy?
I don't know.
Alright.
I don't.
I know you're trying to help. But,
That's like hella late.
yeah.
Hey guys, it's Lemmy Kiwi back on the main stage, here to get to know some of the amazing people that are here at our venue in between our tournaments. So I am joined here with Kat Bolish and Willie Lucci, which so excited to learn about the WEX Foundation. So Kat, what is the WEX Foundation for anyone who doesn't know?
We're a nonprofit here at Port San Antonio where if you want to learn about the moon, about space STEM, we have free programs that's sponsored by the Kelly Heritage Foundation. We take students of all ages and we do all kinds of fun activities to teach them about lunar engineering and space science.
That sounds awesome, and I heard you guys made a new game called Getting Into Space. What is that all about?
Yeah, we took a bunch of students from San Antonio and we put them at St. Mary's in partnership for about a year and a half. And throughout that year and a half, these students learned how to code and use Unity 3D to make Getting Into Space. And Getting Into Space teaches the public about what it takes for humanity to actually not only get to the moon, but live there and eventually get to Mars.
And this is all so amazing to learn. Why did you choose video games to teach about space science?
So when people hear space science, they get a little bit scared and they think that it's really difficult and you have to study a textbook and listen to a professor, when in reality, video games are a wonderful outlet for people to learn about these concepts in a way that relates and speaks to them. So we chose a video game format because not only are our students learning nice skills to create a video game, but they're doing it to teach the public about something that you think is hard, but you actually can learn it right here at the LAN Center.
I gotta switch my hands because, I mean, I have two amazing people here to interview, and this game sounds so much fun. And Willie, I heard that you had a big part in making this game. So what's your part in making this game?
Oh yeah, so I helped code the part where we like navigate the lunar surface and survive on the moon. And yeah, so where you have to follow like an arrow to like reach like the elevator, and you can go down and survive off the lava tubes in the moon. So yeah.
And I was laughing because I don't even know how to play games well, and you're way younger than me, and you can just make games, which is awesome. And what did you learn while working on this project, and how did that influence your future goals?
I learned like game design and like software design, and it helped me discover that I really enjoyed that, not just like engineering, but also like software. So yeah, I also want to do that in the future.
Yeah, software, I mean, learning about space and doing it with video games is such a fun experience. And what would you say to the students like you that think that they're too young to work on something like this?
Well, you're never too young. I would suggest like you do like whatever you can, and like never forget like that you're not too young. And so yeah.
Yeah, you are never too young, especially when someone as young as Willie can make a video game, and you can learn so much about space. So everyone, go and check out Getting Into Space over at the WEX Foundation booth outside in the hall. It is exclusive only to this event. You cannot find it anywhere else. So if you want to go learn about space, go and try out this game. And if you want to see more video games, well, we're about to have that very soon. So we'll see you after the break.
I've been thinking, 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 thinking about you. 아무리 고개 흔들어도 난 네 생각만 하고 있을 뿐. 아무리 딴짓해봐도 난 너의 목소리만 들릴 뿐. 있으면 내 here with me. 가득 심장이면 please tell me. 빨리 고백해볼까? 눈 감고 말해볼까? 미치겠어 only you, 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 you. 이런 건 처음이야. 너무 설레미잖아. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you, boy.
It is time for our next grand final here on the main stage. It's the EGF Marvel Rivals Finals, and our teams are ready to hit the stage. So everyone, get up and get loud for the McClancy Crusaders!
가득 심장이면 please tell me. 빨리 고백해볼까? 눈 감고 말해볼까? 미치겠어 only you, 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 you. 이런 건 처음이야.
Okay, we got the cowboy hat. We are ready to get down here in Texas. And I got my trophy just in time. And our next team is also here. So everyone, let's get excited for the Xavier Knights. Okay, they got fans in the crowd, but can they also walk the walk when it comes to in-game? Our final for the EGF Marvel Rivals tournament is ready to go, so let's send it over to your casters.
It's our final matchup of the LAN here, Shibby. We get to see all the action come to a head here. We just saw Collegiate, now ending off with high school here for the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship presented by Army National Guard. So this is going to be a great one to see exactly how these teams perform against the best of the best nationally in high school.
Yeah, and some of the people we could be commentating here today could go on to become collegiate Marvel Rivals players. We could be seeing them in the next 2, 3, maybe even next year potentially. So it's really exciting to get to see the next generation of collegiate esports effectively pay off and kind of vie for some competition. How many high schoolers do you know that get to compete at a LAN like this?
It's a good question. I mean, seeing the LAN itself, and it's been amazing so far, right? It's been behind us this entire time, and I've been really enjoying, all the teams talking amongst each other. There's been some networking events. There's been some, great teamwork showcased throughout every individual event, and now really we just get to see our final matchup here on the main stage. As far as we're aware, we're a bit ahead of schedule, so maybe they'll add some extra stuff in later on, but for now, this Marvel Rivals matchup is our final one on the main stage, and for these two high school teams to battle it out, it's massive for that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what sort of meta we see here. I mean, are we going to see some Spider-Man potentially? I know we've seen a little bit of Moon Knight. Vaudable, you've been doing a little bit of research. You've been studying up on these two teams here, and there's a little bit of wacky compositions.
There has been some wacky compositions. I mean, we saw, Moon Knight save priority for the Xavier Knights specifically. They've been playing a decent amount of Gambit and White Fox, as we were talking about there as well. Shout out to AriCast as well. They, gave us some information on some of the team dynamics that we got to see from the McClancy Crusaders specifically. So, Iron Fist was a priority that we saw there. Some Groot. We saw, some Phoenix that was pretty good. For Sparkalicious, they said are pretty goated. So definitely expect some of that, especially with the buffs that we saw for Phoenix. I mean, if you're a good aimer, you are having a fun time this match. Exactly.
They reduced the burst damage, but they said, hey, let's tune up the direct hit damage so you can just two-shot pretty much anybody in the roster. So really interesting to see. I'm excited for that Iron Fist specifically, like you mentioned. I mean, he got some buffs recently.
Too.
Yeah, the team up as well. I mean, I'm really interested to see if this Iron Fist is going to be busted out, if there's damage boost shenanigans being thrown into there. Triple strategist. I wonder if either of these teams actually run it and how well they can run it, because we just saw how dominant it was for Fisher last set.
I mean, specifically, looking at these rosters as well, right? We got that Sparkalicious that we were talking about too, but also triple strategists that we've seen from the McClancy Crusaders. Rocket, White Fox, and Ultron's typically what they go for on their side. Then Xavier here as well. We got Cable League, Gamer Boy 7-2, Drothonomics, which is great. Oh, Drothugonomics. Drothugonomics, that's great.
That's a good name.
Bubble GG, Dino 17, and Border 3. And then on the Clancy side, of course, as we mentioned, Sparkalicious, Moonshot. M is for Milk, great name. Grunge, Bulldozer, TM, and
Bulldozer
Bloxus.
I don't know how I can choose my favorite name here. Bulldozer
Or
Time.
Grounge, I think that's what that
Yeah,
is.
Grounge. I mean, you've got Drothugonomics. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
Drothugonomics. I'm
that's
going to have
a
a lot
good
of
one.
fun saying that during the cast there. A lot of cool names. And, I mean, these two teams worked insanely hard to get here. I mean, I believe McClancy, they have gone undefeated so far.
Yeah.
Beating everybody on their
Haven't
path
dropped a
here.
map.
Have not dropped a map here. They are effectively our Fisher potentially here, but I'm excited to see how they match up against the Xavier Knights. I mean, they haven't played off. They haven't played against each other at all, so this could be their kryptonite for all we know.
I mean, Xavier Knights, you know, they have Miss Warner and a fam in the chat shouting them out, so they're cheering them on as well. So there's some fans at home, you
Shout
know,
out Miss
rooting
Warner.
for them. Yeah, so great to see, you know, the high school support for these students. Also cool that there's so many different, you know, vendors out here during the actual venue itself for this Forge Scholastic Esports Championship presented by Army National Guard as well. So great to see, you know, that there is that support for them to like learn of the different colleges, learn the different pathways. We even heard earlier you can learn to build video games about trying to land on the moon and go to Mars and all that. It's just so many different activities for students of all ages to participate in at this event.
You think you'll have Marvel Rivals on Mars?
That'd be crazy.
Oh, I know I'm moving there. I'm joking. Yeah, but yeah, I'm ready to get into Pick and Man to see what these teams are prioritizing. I think the standard OP stuff is still going to get banned out. Stuff like Gambit, right? I mean, I'm sure either Phoenix or one of the Star-Lord or something like that is going to get banned out. Maybe White Fox is going to rise up in priority. Moon Knight is a very popular hero.
I think both teams like playing White Fox too.
Yeah,
so maybe they'll just let it through. Because again, this is MRC bans, which essentially means if you ban something, it's banned for everyone. If you save something, it's saved for everyone. So there's so many heroes in Marvel Rivals that we have to have some way of you to like make it so no one can play certain characters in this game for those tuning in just for the first time into Marvel Rivals specifically for this matchup. But even that, it's so cool that these students get to come out here right in high school, play on a LAN stage. I mean, where was this when I was in high school?
Yeah, the LAN stage for me was in the library. That was the LAN stage.
Playing like the old Halo games.
Yeah, it was something, playing something, Smash Brothers or something like that. That was our LAN stage, right? And only a couple kids ever showed out, unfortunately. But this is a much bigger stage, a lot more adrenaline going through. Probably the biggest stage for a lot of these, high school students. And I love that we have EGF coming in and providing a pathway, right, for a lot of these students.
They
right?
have a collegiate circuit too, which is pretty awesome. So, you can play in high school, playing collegiate through EGF, and again, all the other partners that we have out here as well. We've seen ECAC, we've seen Rallycry, we've seen NECC, we have League OS also making their own competitions. There's TEC back there as well that I believe Tiny Shaddy's been doing some work on as well. And also just like there's collegiate Apex, there's like the Ubisoft specific R6 League,
one,
which is crazy. League of Legends, Valorant, Overwatch, Smash Brothers, as you were talking about. There's everything that you can hope to compete in at these kind of events. So, definitely if you're looking and you're at any college that has some sort of esports program where you can start your own as a club, right?
Yeah.
And get involved as well, definitely recommend it, checking out any of these institutions to participate in because there's so much competition out there. We are blessed by how many different, competitions there are that you can compete in.
Yeah, I think the big thing, like you mentioned, like club teams, right? Don't be afraid to start those. A couple club teams out there that have gone on to be, sponsored by the main university that come to these
Or not
events.
even sponsored by the university, like sponsored by actual organizations in esports too, right? Like we've seen some crazy support from FlyQuest recently after been supporting teams. Team
Gen G.
Liquid as well. Gen G's been having a great initiative there too. They have an abroad program. I know multiple people that go to college currently are actually doing that as well. So so many different esports organizations, if that's what you're interested in as well, to do it. I mean, we had Twitch University here earlier on too. They were doing some great work. They had their own mixer yesterday as well. So a lot to take part in, a lot to be excited about in the collegiate space if you're coming from high school. And there's even middle school esports too. All levels of competition that you can ever imagine you can participate in some way or fashion. So definitely recommend getting involved in your local scene as best you can.
Yeah, I mean, every state as well. I mean, we're talking to Llama earlier for the Apex, college championship. There's 16 states represented across the country competing in that 20-team, Apex Legends Collegiate Championship, which is wild, right?
I think it's still
3
going
teams.
on like right over
Yeah,
here.
they're right over there. They're going to be going on for a while.
That's probably going to be our last broadcast.
That might be
today.
our last broadcast happening, and shout out to them over there. But I mean, I can't imagine how many different states are represented across at this land.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely wild. So
I wouldn't
get
be
involved in
surprised
your
if
local
like
scenes.
all of them are represented in some way. But here we go. Royal Palace is going to be
Wow.
our first map. I have never casted this map.
Oh,
I want you to
yeah.
know.
Well, that's the
Actually,
thing.
no. I casted it in season 0 during a LAN. That what was it? Nightmare wasn't at it. It was the
Mutants?
Not Mutants. It was one of the top teams, Euphoria. That's what they used to be
Euphoria.
called. Yeah, Euphoria. Man, that's a deep cut for anyone who actually pays attention to the esports scene for Marvel Rivals. But yeah, they were a top competitor for that as well. I think Mutants might have been playing in it too. But yeah, I mean, Royal Palace, it's been out of the map pool for, the professional play, but it's cool that it's available here, right? You can still play it, in custom games and stuff like that. I think it's also in quick play still as well.
Yeah.
So maybe something that these teams are a little bit more familiar with. So I'm excited to see, the throne room specifically with like how
Yes.
wide open that is.
I'm
and
really hoping we
what
get all
we
3
can expect
maps.
from that.
Yeah, I want to see everything. I have a soft spot for Royal Palace. I was very devastated when that map was taken out. I think Throne Room super fun. I love the more open one where you got to play against like Loki, the Loki game mode where you're the Avengers and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool, wacky little spots there, and only EGF is where you're allowed to really see it. Royal Palace not enabled even for some of those community tournaments and some of the other collegiate tournaments. Like nobody wants Royal Palace, unfortunately, and I'm really hoping Netties, if you're watching, bring it back.
Bring
please.
it back, yeah. I mean, we saw Shin Shibuya come back recently into
Yes.
the map pool, so Royal Palace, I mean, we didn't see any changes to Shin Shibuya either. People were
None.
expecting some changes to happen with that for them to bring that back as well. But Royal Palace specifically, I mean, there's, the outside area I like a lot too because it's got the like collapsing environment,
Yes.
especially when you have like the high ground. If you have like a Loki, there's like the tree spot that you can put them in, the clones, so that you just have like aerial superiority, essentially, just raining down terror on the site. So the one that I don't like the most, I can't remember the name of it because it's been so long since I've seen Royal Palace, is the one where it's like the underground with like the cylinder.
The
basically.
circle?
The circle, yeah. And it's got the 2 layers of like elevation. I used to play Groot so much in Season 0 and in the beta. I hated that map for that reason because like as a group player, you're just getting destroyed from above by like all of the flyers that were out there at the time. So it's a tough spot to be in there.
I think Throne Room is the most fun because of the chandelier at the
Yeah.
top. The amount of atoms I've seen Aura farm.
Oh,
they
yes, 'cause
fly
they do
up,
the ult up
yes,
there, yes.
up top onto the throne, on the throne room, the chandelier, or whatever you want to call it, and
True.
everybody respawns.
pretty nice.
It's also a really good rocket beacon spot. I used to
Oh,
love
yeah.
that map a lot. I used to play a lot of rocket and atom there, specifically just for those moments.
Yeah, I feel like the health pack is a little far too, though. Like, even though it's so close to the edge. Speaking of the edge, I mean, Jeff eats massive on that part of the map.
On most of the
as
maps.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
on most of them, actually. There is somewhere you can go off of it, even in the one underground, too. But even then, talking about this map specifically, I think because teams might not have as much experience with it, right? Could be the reason why it was picked. Might also be random. We'll get some words on that, but it sounds like we are going to be going to a quick break as we are having some issues on the stage. So we will talk to you in just a little bit of time, just after this. We'll see you in a bit.
Royal Palace, though.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the subtitle name.
Yeah, I think it was like Garden. There's
maps that we have had before now. So we are going to be getting into this match momentarily. We just had to fix some things on the stage, get everyone all set and ready for this matchup as best as we could. And now going into Hell's Heaven specifically, talking about the compositions, talking about, what we can expect. Is Iron Fist good on this map?
I like Hell's Heaven. It's one of those maps.
Do you?
Where, all right, you got me.
We're not lying again here.
We're not lying again. Yeah, the Hell's Heaven, not my favorite map. I think it's really, really weird with the 50% mark where the environment starts to turn around.
And ults like move off the objective.
Yeah, you can also move on the map, move off the map, and you can get squished between stuff.
That's true.
It's a really, really weird map. And Devil Dino, I don't think is available for this either. I don't know. I would hope not.
Could be different for EGF.
Could be different for EGF. I
think they're just having Aura there.
Yeah, they're just having Aura, the Devil Dino Aura. I don't think it'll be available. Unfortunately, that Dino 10 cannot play Devil Dino. I think he was named for this hero. But the Moon Knight is going to be banned out from the Crusaders here. The Xavier Knight's not allowed to play at. No Phoenix available as well. And there is that Iron Fist that we talked about from Moonshot. He's not just the Lord icon, he's got the champion icon, the glowing one.
Sheesh. And there's the Iron Fist save coming through from the McClancy Crusaders on their end as well. Magic save on the other side for them. So McClancy looking for them. I mean, both of them targeting the main duelists for each side is the big thing here, right? For McClancy and Xavier from that first ban. So nice to see the Knights do what they can. The Daredevil ban, I like that too, especially because it does combo well with the dive style that you can have with Iron Fist if you are going in with him that way. Typically tries to be in the brawl a little bit more as well though. The Thing ban also makes them think that they're going more dive as well, right? So that they don't have to worry about that being a counter, and that's why there's going to be the Namor save here. We saw it be so ineffective in the grand final for Fisher and University of North Georgia because it wasn't available from the start. So I like these back and forth battles that we have through the ban phase, and the Ultron, we even talked about that, the triple strategist style that McClancy like to go for.
Yeah, I want to see, they're going to take the Gambit away. They maybe don't want to play the Gambit Star-Lord here. Namor, though, like you said, how effective is it going to be in stopping everything? I like that White Fox ban because they do like to run the White Fox dive composition. Sparkalicious, though, is going to opt in for the Star-Lord, and yeah, solo Vanguard composition, not something we typically see there. Iron Fist and Star-Lord, their front line is lacking, so if you can burst Doctor Strange down, in this case Bloxus, or you can move him back with your double Vanguard setup that looks like Dino and Border are going to go for, it's going to be interesting. And look at that, another Lord Iron Fist. Dro Thugonomics putting the gauntlet down potentially?
Could be. I mean, I'd love to see them go toe-to-toe, just having their own fight against each other on a point as best they can. But McClancy versus Xavier here, specifically the Crusaders versus the Knights, which are, I guess, two different types of Knights, specifically on that end. We'll have to see how this one goes. Potential for a portal play from one of these teams would be great to see out the gate, but also trying to get that early shield.
We're in this together, Tandy Bone.
So
get the stars
some good
out
looks
of your
on their
eyes
side.
and
Xavier for their end of things too. I mean, I'm expecting
the fate of many
potential
worlds
plays around the dive style of the Magic and the Iron Fist, just kind of going in towards the backline. So both backlines are going to be struggling here based on the compositions.
Sometimes I'm surprised they're not running the Doctor Strange for Magic, right? The chains are very, very strong for, locking down certain strategists or locking down a duelist or so. So really interesting to see how this Magic is able to navigate through McClancy's backline, especially because they're running Ultron and Rocket. Very, very, mobile, I would say, and very hard to dive strategy.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, some good looks from the strategies in the past. I think that might be the way for McClancy to lock things in as best as possible here. But for Xavier, I think the big name of the game is getting that early elimination. Moonshot getting stunned out at least a little bit. Cable, I guess, will be the one to get the first elim on the board for this grand final for EGF. And a massive one at that for Xavier Knights as they are quickly turning up the competition. They came to the lower bracket, mind you, and have not lost a series since.
Yeah, and mind you, we have not played against each other. McClancy has had 3 O's across the board. This team that has not dropped a single map. And right now, Xavier winning that first team fight. Vaudeblin, you like to talk about it a lot. Winning that first team fight on domination, 85% chance you can win the map?
Yeah, that's typically how it goes. And now we see the two dueling Tigers or Iron Fist here in the air, back and forth. Moonshot facing off against Droth as well. Droth, thank you. I'm just going to call him Dro at this point.
Yeah.
Make it easier on that end. So Dro doing a great job just to position themselves in a way to force this other Iron Fist back from whence they came. Get this early percentage, but there's the elimination from Sparkalicious onto Dro.
Yeah, that's res though. Gamer Boy does have that in back 6v6, back to normal. Ultron Rage is gonna come in. Dro is also gonna get res here, but Bloxus didn't take down I'm Sun, so Shot gets res, but Cable goes down through the rage of Ultron, but there's where the map is changing. Don't get squished!
Too close for comfort on that one. The Ultron will have to back off from the objective, and percentage still continuing to build for Xavier, but not for much longer. McClancy are able to lock things down here and now after that team fight. A decent amount of percentage has been won by Xavier, but they do have a couple of good ultimates in the bank, so really going to come down to, in this next team fight, it'll be Xavier or McClancy who gets the first eliminations from them. A good Eye of Agamotto could be a good thing to end things for Bloxus.
That's what I was looking at right there. Bloxus land a massive Eye of Agamotto here. You've got to be able to test here. Introduction comes out from Border. Let's see how many members it can take down. So far, it's taken down Bloxus. I think the res is going to get you. No, it's not. The res is not available. Iron Fist, Living Chi coming out from Moonshot. Dino's able to take down Bulldoze, but Moonshot's able to take down Dro and Gamer Boy. That's a big double kill for them as Sparkalicious does have the resets coming in for McClancy. Double Duelist ult is going to burn through whatever Xavier has in the bank.
This is what we've been looking for both these teams, right? To not just have the solo strategist style and triple, or solo duelist, excuse me, style and triple strategist, but more of a change up here. The solo Vanguard is kind of working out, I would say, for McClancy for now. Bloxus didn't need to use their ult just yet. They have it available in the bank. The Eternal Blonde also available for M. Here's another Living Chi, also with the Dark Child coming through from Xavier as they go in as well. M for Milk, Eternal Bond happens on their end. Now the Agamotto we've been waiting for. Bloxus unfortunately only gets Dro, and that's a huge elimination, but I believe the res came through at the perfect time, so I'm So Chill is gonna go, I'm gonna go down there as well.
Yeah, it burned both their duelist ults, and the Eternal Bond was still up from McClancy, so didn't really get as much value as you'd like, either from the Dark Child or the Living G. Dino, though, looking for a sneaky angle, gets sussed out, though. Unfortunately, is away from his team. He's gonna get bursted down before he can use Eye of Agamotto. Dino going for a flank, gets snuffed out by Moonshot.
That's not the Devil Dino that we're talking about. It's just the Doctor Strange Dino here that does go down before the teams are open. The Calming Our Amplifier seems a little too late because most of their team is taken out, but still keeps them up for now just on the objective. They have to hold on for this overtime and only have an Eye of Agamotto available to them. The Living Chi's been massive. Shot as they can use it. It did get 4 members of McClancy, but only 1 elimination off of it. They need the rest of the team to get on the objective, and here's the Living Chi.
Shot coming in with the Living G, didn't want to invest it until he absolutely had to here. Goes crazy, picks up a double, a triple right now. Moonshot versus the world. Can he be the savior for McClancy? He's hunting them down. That's a quadra for Moonshot. Just needs 1 more to take this down and take this sub-map. Fortunately, Grounders is going to be able to take that final, but not without the work that Moonshot has put in on this Iron Fist.
Moonshot MVP so far. I mean, just based on the way that they've been able to use their ultimates, the space that they have been creating and trying to focus down that Doctor Strange on the other end. A solo Vanguard going off against an Iron Fist is not the best way that you want to play into this, unfortunately. So maybe changing it up a little bit more. I'm So Niche also has had, a lot of momentum for their team right there. The ace for the Xavier Knight side. They did some good work with their Dark Child ultimate, but unfortunately, it just feels like it's taking them too much time to build up these ults. And well, I like Dro changing up into what they've saved, right? The Namor, we've been missing that dive prevention on their end, and even the Horn of Proteus could be a good challenge to McClancy because they've just been dug in on the objective so far. So interested to see what these changes look like.
Look at this, Xavier. Flash the triple strategist here, the solo Vanguard. They're copying exactly what McClancy wants to do. And actually, now has the chains with the Doctor Strange team up, might increase their kill threat here. And Dro, like you said, on the Namor. Can they do something about Moonshot, who's been running amok in their back?
And maybe they're part of that program that they were talking about earlier on, just going towards the moon and trying to have their stocks go up even more so, looking at those college recruiters as well in the future for McClancy Crusaders. But for now, it seems that Xavier at least have most of the possession of the objective before this first checkpoint is taken by either side. We talked about that first team fight being so crucial for the Grouchers. Rocket goes down so quickly. Dino also got traded out there, and Cable, I'm sure they're going to use their ultimate, and there it goes.
Colonel Bond comes in, those blocks it'll take down through it. Ayabagamoto lands onto 3 members, but I don't know if there's enough follow-up. Eternal Bond comes in, and that's enough for them to stay sustained. A big Namor whale from Dro as he picks up 2 before Bulldozer Time is able to take them out, but Xavier might have just bought themselves just enough time as Grounder, is going to use that CYA. Gets matched in kind by the invisible boundary. Border takes down Bulldozer Time. Somebody's got to deal with Moonshot though, because right out of this, he's gonna use his living chi. Although I'm so niche, takes down 2, but he stops at 18 health and counting. This next team fight, you best believe Moonshot's gonna come in with his ultimate.
That's a huge win for Xavier, but they had to use so many resources, right? And McClancy have a ton available for this next team fight. So win condition for Xavier, at least for now in this next one. Hold them off for as long as possible. The Dark Child, you need to go in first and get a pick. If you wait for them to ult and then use yours, it's gonna be a losing battle from the get-go.
Mr. Milk, Eternal Bond available. Rage of Ultron, Living Chi, and the Kraken impact again and again. Multiple eliminations. Gets the reset once more. He's hunting. He's looking for one more. Unfortunately, isn't able to land that, but that's more than enough from McClancy to flip the point here. 29% only for Xavier because that initial fight took so damn long.
I think the problem here, though, is that so many ultimates were used by McClancy for that team fight, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they could have saved like one or even 2 of them, honestly. Maybe just use the Kraken impact. They used a lot of resources in that team fight. Again, it seems to be the same issue that both these teams were running into. So Xavier, they have the advantage, at least on that term of things, going into the second team fight. But again, here's the Ayabagamoto bouncing forward. Gets the backline at least a little bit, and there goes down Evans for Milk.
Does go down, but he does get res. I don't know about this Gamer Boy investing the CYA after multiple members have gone down. We talked about both these teams using their ultimates at these opportune times. They're kind of over-investing when the fight's already done.
It's a tough spot to be in. I mean, McClancy, Evans for Milk, they just are going to have to go back to the respawn room after getting diced up by I'm So Niche. Great look there and holding on to the Dark Child as long as they need to. They haven't used it this entire time, and I respect it at this moment because they didn't need to, right? They've been waiting for the perfect moment to strike in the next team fight. And the big thing, though, if you don't use it early on, then you're kind of wasting chances for you to create more space for your team just by having an ultimate available later on if you get a pick in the team fight. Cable, though, is going to be on the Punisher here. No Cable available to be played yet. So we'll see them come out as the Eternal Bond is also going through. See if they can burn through it.
Yeah, no, nothing match in time from Xavier. Border unfortunately goes down at the 70% mark. The chains were nice, but Moonshot and Sparkleish is going to be able to run rampant over Xavier, but Clancy did have to burn that Eternal Bond, and like you said, look at Moonshot just making himself a human highlight reel.
For real, I mean, not a human torch, but just a human that is on fire at this point for this McClancy Crusaders side, and already almost up to their next ultimate as well, and just waiting patiently for their next attack. Xavier, they have, you know, I'm So Niche again, still the Dark Crowd available to them, so curious if we'll see it come out at some point. No, they're going to be using it. Also the Rage of Ultron, Ayabagamoto goes through, everything invested in. 3 people stunned out from McClancy, and Sparkleish and Grounders going down. Rage of Ultron from Bulldozer also comes through and tries to see if they can at least save the point for their team, but instead, I'm So Niche will still get some damage against the other squad, and McClancy cannot stay alive to save themselves. The point will be taken by Xavier Knights.
Combos are so clean from I'm So Niche on the Magic. Nice Dark Child, like you mentioned. Border 30 does have Invisible Boundary available, but what are they going to use it on? Living Chi? Are they going to use it to try to live through the Eye of Agamotto. You have to push that potentially. And then after that, you gotta crack the impact ready to tell. Yeah, they've also got to watch the point here. Eye of Agamotto comes in. Unfortunately, lands onto both members of the Invisible Woman. And I'm so the Invisible Boundary has come in. Dro, though, takes down the counterpart. Multiple members are getting removed outside of the portal. Gamer Boy does go down to Moonshot. Living G is available, and he's gonna pop it. He wants to end the game right now. Cable, though, takes everybody down. It's one man in a dream. Moonshot versus the world. Can he try to end it here on Xavier's side, though? I don't know. I think he's gonna go down. McClancy has to fight for the next point.
Staying alive as best they can. He's just playing the stall game for the rest of their team to get on the objective, and we'll see if they can get some time for them to at least hold on to the point and have one last team fight. But no, it drops down. Moonshot did all that they could. You saw the Xavier Knights were so close to being at least pushed on by McClancy Crusaders, but it was not enough. And well, we go to the Super Soldier Factory, the third sub map here on Hell's Heaven. It's anybody's game.
Yeah, this is one of the most divisive sub maps. It's very interesting to see when you get into those sections with the lava and stuff like that, how you can pull people off. Invisible Woman has a ton of value here specifically because she can push you into lava as well. Can Xavier clutch it out after losing a first sub map here? I feel like McClancy specifically, you know, they should have been able to save that ultimate. I feel like Moonshot trying to do a heroic play. I mean, 18 finals, you get to see why he thought he could do it. Dro, though, swapping over to the Atom, very, very crucial.
Yeah, I think the Atom Warlock is a good change here for Dro, trying to get some more value, but also playing that triple strategy is a little bit different than what we've seen throughout the competition here. And speaking of that competition, right, Xavier didn't play up against McClancy, but the team that met them in the winners final, Ravens, actually went to map 5 against them, then swept them in the lower brackets. So Xavier have been on a warpath in the lowers, and they do not want to lose this one. They want to have the most monumental bracket run in Marvel Rivals history so far, and this would be one way to start things off strong if they can get the win here. But McClancy doing what they can. Roxas needs to stay alive. The portal, or the shield, excuse me, is blocking all the healing.
Cable has the Judge Jury Executioner available. He's going to pop it, though, is the question. Grounders able to take back blocks. I'm so niche does go down to 5v6 in favor of McClancy at the moment, and I feel like you just pop this final judgment now. It might be too little too late. Soulbond does come in, though. It's going to be a lot harder to take down. Where are the targets, though? Can you take it in the air? Sparkalicious, where were you going? Big Eye of Agamotto lands on the 3 members of McClancy. Everybody's stunned. Dino takes him down. Dro takes another, and McClancy, even though they thought they had a one-team fight with the numbers advantage, the Eye of Agamotto and the final judgment come in and clean house.
Massive plays from Xavier Knights to lock things down here for the first team fight win again. As we saw last time, they won the team fight at the beginning, and they won the sub map. It continues to be the case, at least here on Hell's Heaven. McClancy, though, we do have the Invisible Boundary going through here, trying to see if they can at least use it aggressively against the other team. Also an Amplifier, though, and the Res coming out at the same time. A little bit preemptive from Dro, but I like it, as we have the Dark Child also from I'm So Niche, just trying to delete the McClancy members from the objective. They want to use all of their resources from Xavier Knights just to close out this map, and it's working out well.
60% and counting, lots of ultimates invested, many resources used. Sparkalicious is able to take down I'm So Niche. Gets a little too deep into the backline without the Dark Child. Look at Bloxus, Eye of Agamotto potentially to save the day. Sparkalicious, final judgment in the back pocket.
Ooh, the push.
Order 30, nice push though to potentially just dissuade any sort of shenanigans here. Invisible Boundary has to be used for the final judgment. Big Eye of Agamotto lands onto Xavier, and unfortunately, you're not even going to get a chance to use the Invisible Boundary.
Dro just had to stay there, unfortunately, wasting the cocoon, but they knew that their team was down, and that's where it goes to show that using that res a little bit earlier on, the Karmic Revival, they could have won this team fight afterwards, right? Res a little bit higher up away from your team, so maybe not as experienced with the hero, or a bit of a miscue on their side. So can't fault them too much for it. There's a lot going on in the moment to keep track of, and they did get so much percentage off that first touch.
80% that's maybe 1, 2 fights. The portal is available in time here. Look at Cable, his own final judgment is available right now. With an assassin starting out on the Sparkalicious, but instead they're just going to support it with the Invisible Boundary so nobody can get taken down. A triple for Cable, a quadra for Cable. Bodies are dropping one after the other, and Xavier able to flip the point.
Now building up the percentage, but speaking of the point, I heard a portal being opened in the background, so nobody able to prevent that one. It will go off for now to contest for the Clancy, but here's the Punisher turret from the background, just taking massive damage. Agamotto also comes through, Joe with the KO, Ramso Nietzsche as well. Rachel Maltone to try and save the day from Bulldozers, but it might be too little too late.
Living G available for Moonshot. He's been the hero before. Can he do it again? Can he at least will them to another team fight? Living G has been invested, but multiple members have already gone down on Xavier's side. This might be a bit of an over-investment. Does get the triple, but now you've got a plan for the next 3 team fights here. Gamerboy has the CYA available, a big boon potentially in this team fight. Grounders as well. Whoever is better is going to win this team fight.
Could also come up to that Dark Child too from I'm So Niche, depending on how effective it is. Moonshot just waiting for the flank and patiently, as saint as they can be, just trying to find the perfect moment to strike. See if they can actually take out this Magic Suzy as quickly as possible. And the 1v1 does work out.
Does get res here. I'm so the Dark Child available. Nice tech there, by the way. The Dark Child comes in along with the CYA. Finds that! Agamotto though from Bloxus is going to wipe Xavier off of the board. Bloxus, holy!
And it was also damage boosted too from Grounders so that they could get the Dark Magic, the Maelstrom, available to pop off at the perfect moment and wipe everyone off of the objective. So potential portal coming in here from Dino then at the final hour just to contest before OT.
Throw has the Karmic Revival available. Spark Collision's already murdering people down. Those Spark Collisions. Final Judgment 3 down, 4 down. When are you going to use your Karmic Revival? There it is. Everybody back onto the map. Another team fight. Moonshot though taking down multiple members because they only get healed to full here. Xavier is dropping like flies, and unfortunately Cable does not have the Final Judgment. But Clancy wins 3 team fights in a row to take map 1.
Massive crusade from them, you could say, as they come back for the victory, mirror the composition, and prove that they are the better squad on this matchup. So Hell's Heaven does go in their favor, and we'll have to see what the next map will be. But Moonshot, of course, the MVP here.
I'm going to say he's got 25 finals here. 53 in 4 total eliminations. We may not actually get to find out how many finals he had there, but Moonshot, the MVP of that map. And I think, like you said, the SVP potentially blocks us. That solo Vanguard, right? Hitting massive Eye of Agamotto on the push that was ready for the Xavier Knights, right? They had everything prepped. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. Pop the Rocket Ultimate into the Dark Child and be able to wipe everybody away. That Eye of Agamotto, game-saving in my mind.
Huge. I mean, we saw so many massive Eye of Agamottos, right? But also, like, having the Iron Fist player also doing such a good job there, too, Moonshot. I think the way that they were able to position themselves in the backline, target the other duelist that was trying to dive as well, and make it so that they were just a non-issue. I'm So Niche was trying desperately to figure out the right timing to use their ultimate so they can also focus on Moonshot too. But because of the buffs of Iron Fist, this just goes to show how lethal they can be.
Yeah, I mean, was absolutely, like you said, lethal on the backline specifically. The amount of times I saw Moonshot, you know, getting a triple elimination, and it's all 3 strategists. Must be a pain in the butt. I wonder if they are going to go for the the Iron Fist ban here. Maybe drop the Moon Knight ban or something like that, right? I think there's a potential that, you know, Moonshot has to be taken out of the equation. He's got to be put on his 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th best hero because that Iron Fist, they didn't have an answer to it. The Namor, they tried to play it? I don't really know.
They played it like a little bit, and I think it worked out decent enough, but I feel like they also weren't doing enough damage. That's why they moved on over to the Punisher. The Punisher worked well, and then the other team's like, hey, I can also play Punisher because it's not going to be the Ignite bans, which Ignite bans, for those who don't know, that's the pro level scene that they play on those. If you ban something, it's only banned for the other team and not you, unless the other team bans it.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like you have more of those like one-sided compositions where if you had the one-sided Punisher, would have been a different story. But now you made the other team learn, it's like, hey, we can also run the Cosmic Iron Amplifier Punisher combo, which has worked since the beginning of time that the game has released. So, I don't know. We're going to Tokyo 2099 Spider Islands for our next map here on this grand final stage coverage for EGF Nationals here at the Forge SCC, presented by Army National Guard. And we're at the Boeing Center at Techport, and this has been an amazing, event so far. We've had, some amazing performances too in Marvel Rivals, right? We saw Fisher do so well, and I like to see that we have a little bit of a different story this time with Savior Knights and the McClancy Crusaders, because this is as close as it can get.
Yeah, this has the potential to go 5 maps, right?
It could.
I mean, it is really, Xavier almost ran away with it, right? They took map 2, map 3. They just needed one team fight win. It's just really good from the Crusaders there, who were able to just string team fight after team fight together with less resources, right? I mean, Aya Agamotto essentially counter 2 ultimates. They had the Final Judgment to counter the Karmic Retribution, and then even when that came in, Moonshot comes in clutch, because unfortunately, when you do revive with the Karmic Retribution, you don't get revived to full.
Yeah, the Karmic Revival was like really good on that play too. I think the problem is just they were panic using it. Again, it's tough in those moments, so you're trying to find like the right spot for it. If you go down and cocoon a little bit further, because you have the extra speed from it too, since like the buff like a couple patches ago, that could be an option for you. So maybe it's better to like position yourself after you go down and then use the Karmic Revival just in more of a safe spot instead of directly in the line of fire. So we'll see if there's some more adjustments to that kind of play. I think, prioritizing the Iron Fist ban over the Phoenix ban would be great. The problem is, I mean, we saw how good during the regular playoffs bracket to this point, how good the Phoenix was. So if the Phoenix is banned out, they're going to play Iron Fist. If the Iron Fist is banned out, they're going to be playing Phoenix. You're going to have to play against one hero that you're not as confident against. And it's going to be a tough journey for that too, especially if you like playing Rocket. I get why they want to focus on the Phoenix ban.
Yeah, it's a pick your poison situation, I think. And I think for Phoenix, you just have to try to play dive into it, right? I don't know if the Xavier Knights have the ability to play dive like that. The Venom, the Daredevil, stuff like that. Even Black Cat, which is available. How many of them have had some practice on it? It's a relatively new hero still for many people.
That's a good question.
So much there to think about, right? I mean, the Moon Knight being taken away. I did like the Punisher call. I think both teams,
the Punisher, they both did great with the Punisher.
Yeah, they were both really, really good. And the way the rest of the team supported it, right? I really like the idea of saying, hey, let's throw the invisible boundary onto the Punisher ultimate. And unfortunately, though, it looks like the Xavier Knights might be playing for the vibes just a little bit.
Locking the Black Widow across the board, but obviously won't be going out with that. The magic ban immediately from McClancy. They saw how effective I'm So Niche was on it too. So yeah, Iron Fist ban across the board. So that means a Moon Knight save and probably a Phoenix save the other direction, just because of how effective those 2 heroes specifically were for those teams. And we typically did see a Moon Knight save during that bracket for the Xavier Knights, and it worked out pretty well for them. So typically, in this kind of MRC style bans, which are the tournament basic bans, if you're looking at custom matches and wanting to emulate it, you do see a bit of a different story though for McClancy. And instead of the Phoenix, I mean, if Xavier don't ban it, I don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah, they just haven't done their research properly, right? I mean, take the Iron Fist away, you take the Phoenix. I think you really hamstring what Moonshot potentially is able to do. Although Sparkalicious gets everything he wants, right? Maybe there's a Daredevil in the back pocket.
That's true.
This might be a Daredevil ban here from Xavier if they don't want to see the Venom Daredevil or the Daredevil or whatever. But now Phoenix gonna be implemented here. If I'm McClancy, I save DD.
Could save DD. You could also on this side. Yeah, I was wondering if they're going to be saving the Gambit because that was banned out last previously, and the Namor save didn't really work out too well for Xavier. So saving on the Wolverine just in case of the solo Vanguard. We've seen group played a couple of times too, here and there, so they don't want to play against, and that's also why they're banning out the Loki, because they don't want to have double Gambit.
Yeah, Loki Gambit, not fun to play against. Fortunately, he never folds, ever, at all, apparently. He wins every poker hand known to man, so we'll see what Xavier's final ban is going to be here. No Phoenix, no Iron Fist available. I ban the Daredevil. Yeah, I mean, a triple duelist ban is what I'll take. Sparkalicious and Moonshot, if they want to carry again, they've got to do it on completely different heroes, although the Gambit Star-Lord is available for Sparkalicious. The one thing that's worrying me, Vaudable, is McClancy is not hovering over Gambit.
Yeah, we haven't really seen them playing Gambit up to this point, so I don't think they're going to be the ones locking it down. And that's typically what you see with some teams, is that they don't have as much comfortability on that hero in the lower, not skill level, but like range in terms of like competitiveness, right? From, Ignite, you typically see it all the time. MRC a little bit less, and then in like competitive play even less so from then on out. And high school is just another level of that as well. So I'm so niche. They're going to be the ones actually loading in on the Gambit this time. Flex Demon on this team.
Yeah, it just plays whatever the team needs. Like, well, guys, my Magic is banned out. I don't really know what to play. It's like, oh, just get on Gambit. Help us play Gambit here. I like this combo. Not as effective in my mind as Gambit Star-Lord, but Gambit Punisher is still very, very good. The extra damage with the Final Judgment can be the difference maker here. And Border 30 going to be playing a much more solid solo tank, the original solo Vanguard on the Magneto, while as McClancy, like you said, is going to be locking that group for blocks as Moonshot. I want to see what he's going to be able to do on this Wolverine into a solo Vanguard. Border 30's life could be a living nightmare.
It really could be so we'll have to see what they can do. But McClancy from Moonshot, I like to see them specifically on this Wolverine. Yeah, the passive going away so quickly is a tough spot for them, but if they can get a good kidnap, it doesn't matter if the passive's gone. They have that jump tag just so that they can go back towards their own line, and we see it in Punisher, Cable, get actually just almost deleted, but saved by the back line.
Yeah, really good play from Xavier there. He was coming in there with the flash. Kidnap from Moonshot, but ultimately it was going to be enough. I like this because Blocks has picked the group, knowing that the Punisher was up. I mean, Cable is feasting as well as Throw on the Moon Knight. Like, this is not a duelist composition that you want to play into. Moon Knight is one of your biggest counters, and I would argue Punisher is the counter to.
Yeah, Punisher, I mean, has been doing such a great job so far here for Cable. And now we see the kidnap just get interrupted from Moonshot. So the Wolverine not working out as effectively as they would like it to. And I feel like Wolves, against just a single Vanguard, especially one that can bubble like Magneto, not as valiant and as effective as we've seen before.
Yeah, 100%. Right on top of the strangling prison. And unfortunately, Xavier don't actually have any support ultimates available. Gamer Boy just got the CYA, but realistically, multiple members are going to go down. But Clancy, with a little bit of a better ultimate generation, if it's running off strategists, their ult generation cost is significantly lower because Xavier is running both the Gambit and the Cloak and Dagger, both very, ultimate charge cost heavy heroes, right? Heal hungry heroes, I like to say. You do see potentially the Raging Royal Flush out of Portal. Cable is going to channel that. Star-Lord ultimate coming in from Sparkalicious, empowered by BCYA Legendary, unable to break through anything just at the moment. A lot will finally goes down. Gamer Boy, Dino, Dro, and me. It's one after the other, and Xavier right out of that portal get taken down.
They hit a checkpoint.
Tough spot to be for Xavier, right? Especially because they had the Meteor M available to them, and we could have seen some potential for them using that against the Star-Lord. So going down, late into that fight and not exactly where you want to position yourself, especially when you have to get that final hold against them, right? We see, this team of Xavier doing pretty good on the domination, but not having as many options on the convoy itself. So having to see, what they can do to turn things around. I like this swap here, even though that they lose a lot of their ult charge. I feel like the Emma is going to be a little bit more effective.
Last stand available. Okay. A big last stand, and unfortunately, Niche does go down with no rocket barrier or revival available. Dino's gonna have to pop the Eternal Bond in a 5v6 situation. That's gonna get put in response with the Kumiho unleash. And here comes Cable now with the Judge, Jury, Executioner. Can they burst them down enough? They also have invested the Sonic Seduction, and they're just gonna hide behind the rock. Rage of Ultron gonna come back in response, and unfortunately Cable just a little too far forward.
The Root Walls from Blanchas were massive on that play. Great to see them just shut things down as best as possible. And a tough one there for Cable, especially if they were wanting to create unlimited value for their team, but the rest of their team was able to bounce back, and it's huge for them. So unfortunately for Blanchas, they couldn't keep their team fully alive during that fight. Xavier will finally fight back, and it's the first hold we see from them.
Yeah, after losing that first team fight in that first point, we've lost one after the other. So I like this from Dro, this Moon Knight, and a lot of damage, not meant shooting, ready to go. It's also into triple strategist there. So Xavier, can they build up enough duelist ultimates? Right now, McClancy, they've got blocks with that strangling prison, and a lot of damage that can be layered on top. Border, though, is going to take down Moonshot. I like the Emma swap. Was on the Magneto, which is a little bit more selfish, but I think the Emma specifically can choke slam this Wolverine and take him down immediately.
Especially with the buffs that we've seen from it, right? I mean, he is now actually get more damage reduction in his diamond form too, and also able to use his shield a little bit faster. But here we have the buffs from Rocket Raccoon. You see the damage boost for them for the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. More ammo, more damage, more heals, doesn't matter because everyone from Xavier goes down, and Sparkalicious also using their Galactic Legend perfectly. It doesn't matter if they don't have a Royal Flush to back it up because it's so good on its own.
Yeah, they won that fight so quickly that still had time on it, though the Moon is going to haunt McClancy. It's going to take them temporarily off of the point, but I'm So Niche goes down immediately. Another Rage of Ultron from Bulldozer time. He's been absolutely lethal on this Ultron, and I don't know if Xavier have an answer to it.
They don't. That's why this was the first save for McClancy, making sure that they can lock down the triple strategist lineup, and seeing that there hasn't been a ban at all for Emma's Milk on that White Fox is insane.
Now might be a good time to stop them.
Second point captured for McClancy. 2.5 minutes to go for that final point here. Xavier, a little bit of a more, closed-in map, so maybe Dro on this Moon Knight can get more bounce, get more onks, and can actually get some more effective hand of conquest. That last one, a zoning one, but Cable swapping away from the Punisher, now opting in for the Winter Soldier, either to A, grab Bloxus on the boot, or to dissuade Moonshot from coming in. Has that last stand available, though. Dino, and unfortunately unable to actually do anything more as the backline of Shaker is able to keep him alive. Eye of Agamotto available along with the Raging Royal Flood. Many ultimates on the line for Xavier. Eye of Agamotto into the hand of Khonshu. A big grab from Moonshot temporarily keeps his team alive, but it isn't enough. There's too much damage coming in from Moonshot.
Barrel lead to the victory potential, but unfortunately they are pushed back to the spawn room here, so we'll have to see how they continue from here on out. So Moonshot, Grounders, Bloxus, M's for Milk, supposedly soon Bulldozers will also have their ultimate with the Rage of Ultron available. The Kumiho Unleashed is going to be the first one to activate from both sides.
From both of them, a big elimination onto Cable from Moonshot, and another Rage of Ultron coming in. This time has to be put in response with the invisible boundary of Sparkalicious. It'll take I'm So Niche down. Grounders pops the CYA in response to another hand of Khonshu. Cable has the Kraken Impact available. Can combo with the Gambit ultimate, but it doesn't matter. Sparkalicious able to wipe down multiple members. A legendary empowered with the CYA is what it takes. Can McClancy get this final point before Xavier can contest? The Root Wall Flash is available. The Root Wall here, putting up the Brave Wall of China to stop Xavier, but unfortunately, McClancy do have to take this last team fight. The impact hasn't resulted in anything, though.
This, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be the best counter pick here for Xavier, as they are getting forced all the way to the brink of extinction. 3 checkpoints almost activated. You see Grounders again going in as the full damage rocket this time, just to clear the way, and McClancy will get 3 points activated with a little bit of extra time once they go to a potential OT.
I love a rocket that knows when he needs to DPS, right? He's like, all right, my team's relatively healthy. We're in a triple strategist composition. I've popped my ultimate. My healing is useless here. Let me take advantage of, like you said, the buffs that came in on his DPS, and we're gonna see if Xavier, like you said, can bounce back here. McClancy pretty much used all the time bank there to get to those 3 points.
It's a tough spot to be in if you're Xavier, right? A couple of final hits missing from multiple members here, and we saw Dro do everything that they could for this team, and it even feels like the typical bread and butter combo of the Gambit and Star-Lord just wasn't working out the way that they wanted to. So I love this change up from them. Switching back to the Punisher, we see the Final Judgment, and also using the Rachel Royal Flush with it worked pretty well in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised if it works out well this time. But also on the other end, the triple strategist lineup of McClancy cannot be understated, right? They've been running this all day, seeing how that they have, the Brawl style and protection from the teleport from certain ultimates with the White Fox available there to just to deal with the AoE around them, especially when they're in their melee form, and the Kumiho Unleashes for extra heals and just HP in front of them as well. So McClancy on their side of things with Sparkalicious, they just got to keep rallying behind them. It'll look great.
Yeah, Xavier has swapped their composition up just a little bit here. I like the fact that they have a double Vanguard composition when you're running essentially triple main support. Cable on the Gambit, Dino on the Cloak and Dagger, and Gamer Boy back on the Rocket here. But it is going to be a solo duelist from Dro here on the Punisher. See potentially if McClancy is able to do anything about it, though. Slowly but surely they are getting pushed back. Moonshot takes down Dino in the process. Here, no res available for them. There's a 5v6 momentarily. McClancy giving up space, but not too much to where they are just giving up 3%. The fact that they are meticulously taking down Xavier means that they can contest this card relatively early.
An early contest will be huge here for McClancy to lock things down right, making sure that they can do this well. Let's just swap up for Border, though. They have a flexible hero pool. Emmo worked out decently last time, but on the attacking end, if they can at least shut down this Ultron with that Banhammer will be massive for their side to at least make some movements forward. Here's the Rage Ultron again going through. Needs to get some sort of elimination towards the back line, but I'm so niche barely staying up, even with all the heals directed towards them from the Carson PR and Empire, giving them the bonus HP, still haven't gotten the elimination. And there is the Strangling Prison from the group of Fluxus. You just have the rest of the team focus on them, and only the group goes down from I'm so niche.
Yeah, big Strangling Prison. Unfortunately, the follow-up wasn't there just enough. But Clancy doing a good job holding Xavier. A nice end KO there on the Border 30. Fortunately for Xavier, Border 30 on this Deadpool means that they are relatively weak early until they get at least maybe upgrade maximum to the Eagles, the Banhammer, and potentially in your area to really do something about it. I'm so niche though, does have Strangling Prison available. Dino Eternal Blonde as well. Sway gets invested. Cloak and Dagger ultimate is used, but an empowered legendary could be the difference maker. A nice in your area to keep them alive. Cable though goes down because he's not in range of the Eternal Bond.
Oh, and they had the Rage and Road Flush available for Xavier too. Here's the last stand coming through and about to get 2 eliminations if they can find wherever the Deadpool went, but they were able to escape at least for now. The clutches of the Wolverine, but doesn't matter because the rest of their team is deleted off the battlefield. 1:35 on the clock, and McClancy are locking in.
McClancy has completely flipped the switch here. They struggled, I would say, on the offensive side, pretty much using the whole time bank, 28 seconds only, to get it to that third point. But we didn't know how lethal their defense was. Xavier have run into a brick wall right now. Cable on the Gambit, Raging Royal Flush available. It looks like Dro is going to use the armed and dangerous. Bulldozer time does get taken down, though, in the middle of his Rage of Ultron. Is taken up. Let's see if this Kubio Unleashed can be the difference maker. Moonshot takes down I'm So Niche, though, and that's crucial because that Strangling Prison was available. But without the follow-up Xavier, I think they're going to lose this team fight. We'll see if McClancy can bounce back.
That was massive for Border, actually, using the Banhammer on Bulldozer for the Rage Voltron to be ineffective, because you can't really stop shooting for a little bit there, too, right? We have all of the bullets kind of counted from each of your Ultron drones, so tough spot to be in. Dino, though, immediately getting stunned down and going down because of the Pharaoh Leap, so it's a huge pick from McClancy in this next team fight.
Delicious takes down Cable. He will get res back into the fight. Takes down Gamer Boy. Finally, the Strangling Prison from I'm So Niche comes in, and it's able to take down multiple members. Moonshot, though, has the last stand available, and unfortunately for Xavier, that's not enough. McClancy Strangling Prison just a tad bit better. 6 seconds and counting. Cable has swapped over to the portal, but I don't think they're going to get it in time.
I don't believe there's enough time, and no, there is not. The wall stops the Rocket Raccoon, even with the massive mobility that they have on the sidewall. They were trying to use the tech, the boost with their rocket pack towards it as well, but unfortunately it was not enough. No crazy scenarios here to turn things around in the last moment and force that first checkpoint. So this is just a clinic being run by McClancy in this map. Even with it being a counter pick from the side of Xavier Knights, it just was not enough. The Crusade continues forward. One more map to go until they are the reigning champions of EGF.
Yeah, gonna be interested to see what they can do here. Like you said, I think McClancy 3-0ing everybody in the winners up until this, grand finals.
Haven't dropped a map.
Haven't dropped a map yet, which would be an insane run here. You talked about an insane losers bracket run. How much of a crazy run would this be? Not dropping a map up until the EGN finals and then going in and going undefeated. I mean, we talked about how close domination looked. Domination, one of the most volatile map types in the game. Even the on-paper worst team can make it look very close, and they took it all the way to 3 sub-maps. But when it came to Convoy, I mean, McClancy looked very, very clean, especially on the defensive side.
You could just call them McClean at this point based on how they were performing. But I mean, the Crusaders, I actually got to see them, you know, in the lunch area, in the food court here at the Boeing Center at Techport, and seeing how they were preparing before the matches. But we are going to be headed over to a quick break before our next match. Don't go anywhere.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life. You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Give the thing back and be like, hey guys.
Just put it up here so it's like when it's done.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys. Welcome back, everyone. We are here for the EGF National Championships here at the Forge SEC, the Forge Scholastic Esports Championships, powered by the Army National Guard. I'm Botable. We got Chibi here, of course, and potentially one final map to determine who the victor will be. The McClancy Crusaders currently up 2-0. A full reverse sweep would need to be pulled off by the Xavier Knights to come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen crazier things before. We have been a part of crazier
We
things
have.
before, where full reverse sweeps are definitely possible. I mean, McClancy can taste the victory, the trophy right there being displayed in front of their eyes. One more map available to them. Convergence is going to be the final,
That's
or
true.
potential final map here until we reset that rotation. And I mean, they look so clean on Convoy. You only have to assume that their convergence is just as good.
I mean, looking at my notes here, it says that McClancy Crusaders 3-0. Based on what we've seen so far, I mean, I didn't have that written down, but I mean, hey, they haven't dropped the map so far. They've looked pretty dominant, and the team that's kept them the closest at least has been this Xavier Knights roster. And talking about their run, right, they won in a 3-0 fashion in their first round matchup. Round 2 against the higher seeded teams who had a bye, the Raven Rivals roster. They went all the way to map 5 and then actually beat them in a rematch in a 3-0 sweep in that lower bracket final. So they've been playing so many matches during this competition. It's been kind of crazy to see that they have now, this will be their 6th series. Whereas on the other side of things, the Monsignor McClancy Knight Crusaders here actually have only played 4 series themselves. So a little bit different in terms of like how many matches have been played, but also just goes to show how dominant this McClancy Crusaders team has been, right? Because they haven't dropped a single map playing all 4 of those series.
And mind you, this map too, they were target banned out.
Yeah,
Their best players,
that's true.
right? Iron Fist not available, Phoenix not available. I mean, Daredevil was taken out, but they decided to say, hey, we're going to save the Ultron.
That's true.
And honestly, that Ultron...
That Ultron save was clutch.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
Like, they finally figured out, you know, what a potential counter to it was with the Vanguard Deadpool. They used the gun ultimate, the ban hammer, just so that they would take constant damage when they are trying to deal it and heal and deal damage with the splash damage AoE now of the buffed Rage of Ultron from last patch. So I like where they were thinking with that one, but also, you know, you could use, you know, Black Cat and use a Mento Fish and send them down to the ground. It has that effect.
Potentially.
It has that effect. A lot of people are upset about that, but hey, we haven't really seen Black Cat from either of these teams, and I think it might just be, you know, not a comfortability. Maybe it's not even available too, depending on their rules as well. We'll get some updates on that in the future, but I'm more curious to see what map we go to for this one, right? Convergence, we could go to Central Park, could be an option for this one. We could go, you know, Lower Manhattan would be cool. I don't think we're going on that one, but I don't know. I mean, where would you want to go if you are the Xavier Knights at this point, based on what we've seen them play?
I mean, if you've got a Lower Manhattan in your pocket, now is the time to throw it, right? I mean, you're down 0-2. You want to leave everything out on the table. If you have a map that you've practiced that maybe other people haven't played, Lower Manhattan, not typically scrim. Nobody really likes the map, unfortunately, because of that scan mechanic.
Hey, a lot of people do like the map. It's just not in like the competitive sense.
Yes,
you know.
yes, not the competitive sense for sure. And obviously that first point can be very tough to crack there, and obviously that final point when it becomes over that bridge. But I just don't think any teams are super practiced on it. So if you have that edge, like same thing with Museum of Contemplation, we got to see in Ignite early on. There were a lot of teams that were able to sneak wins against better teams on paper because they picked Museum of Contemplation and they understood the map when they figured out, hey, it's a dive map.
Yeah, I think that's a big boon for like a lot of squads out there, especially, you know, in Ignite, in the professional level of play. For those who don't know what Ignite is, definitely recommend going watch it. It starts this next week. It's a little self-plug on that one. But even then, I mean, for the high school level of this competition, deciding on the map, I mean, this could be the final one that you play in this competition on that big stage here at the Boeing Center at Techport. And I feel like, you know, you want to make sure this one counts, that you can show your best performance. Because unfortunately, you know, for the Xavier Knights, I got to say it wasn't their best performance, right? We saw some good looks from them in domination, but it felt like the McClancy Crusaders really had everything locked down, especially on offense, especially on defense. Yeah, had their number. I mean, the Wolverine at the beginning wasn't doing as much, but towards the end was doing everything.
Yes, Moonshot was just insane, right? Finding multi-man last stands there. And instead, we are going to go to Clintar. I'm interested to see what that's going to entail. I mean, it is one of the more popular convergence
Good
maps.
old symbiotic surface.
Yeah, symbiotic surface there. Another map where we've seen heavy holds, right? Hard
Yes.
holds,
Oh
like
my
full
gosh.
holds, everything under
I mean,
the sun.
we basically saw that for the most part before the reset earlier on for Fisher
Yeah.
versus University of North Georgia, right? Where you saw the Venom be so lethal specifically. I feel like Ultron also does pretty good on this map too.
A lot of
We've seen
verticality, stuff for him to hide behind.
Decent verticality as well on that. So I'm really curious. I mean, Iron Fist does pretty decent with the flanking that they can do on this map specifically. So we'll see if it's going to be like the Magic ban initially as well. I think that really got rid of some of the valuable assets that I'm So Niche was able to bring because they were stuck in the strategist role, right? Playing that gambit for their team. They weren't able to frag out as much as they would have liked to on the duelist line.
And I wasn't a fan of the triple strategist that they were running, right? I think it's very, very heavy to run triple main strategist because of how heavy the ultimate charge costs are, right? Like, Cloak and Dagger has like a 4,500 ultimate charge cost. Like, I mean, it's really, they've nerfed Gambits over the course of every single patch year. They did a global pass with all ultimate charge costs. So I think it's really greedy to run multiple of those big main supports. And yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, you don't got to fix it. McClancy's going to reduce the effectiveness of I'm So Niche, take the magic off the board. And I'm not going to chance the Living Chi. I'm not going to chance Moonshot. But now the question is, do you take the Moon Knight away or not the Moon Knight, the Phoenix potentially? I do like the thing save. So that means that they're going to open up the Daredevil, right?
Yeah.
They don't care about the Daredevil ban anymore. I like the Star-Lord save from McClancy, though.
We saw how good that Sparkalicious was on the Star-Lord. I don't think they are, you know, contained by the Phoenix anymore.
No.
And maybe that will make them second guess, you know, a Phoenix ban because they already know how good they are on the Star-Lord, right? I like the thing, though, specifically because that was banned twice in a row in the last two maps by McClancy Crusaders as their second ban. So having that available to them, maybe they'll feel a little bit more confident, especially when they're getting Delve. And getting rid of that Ultron is also huge.
Yeah, I mean, remove some of that effectiveness of the triple strategist.
Fox save maybe on the other end.
Could be a White Fox save from McClancy if they want to run dive here. Gambit as well. I would love to see that. Moon Knight save is pretty typical from Xavier. That's one of Dro's better heroes, I would argue, and he was really effective on it.
Ooh.
That is kind of interesting because when I see a Moon Knight save, my next thought isn't to save the next best pairing, right?
To ban it for sure. But I feel like a lot of those walls were blocking off of the effectiveness of Xavier, especially the heals, right? When you see some of them go in, you section them off from the rest of their team in the back line, and they can't do anything about it. So more interested on what these bans are going to be on their end. And they're saying, hey, we don't need to play the Phoenix. We're going to ban it out from you instead.
They really want to run the Rocket here. I mean, why not? Grounders has been getting a lot of value, a lot of mileage off of the CYAs and the BRBs. So, and also you have that team up with Star-Lord, right? So you allow him to get that extra get out of jail free card. And Xavier's like, hey, we were gonna ban Phoenix. What do we ban now?
That was a little late. I was worried they weren't gonna ban something. Yeah,
I think that was
it makes sense.
It
makes sense. You don't want to give them that vision. You don't want to give them like the extra effectiveness on dive. So we do see a very interesting lineup here potentially from McClancy. For Xavier, though, I mean, we could talk about the usuals, right? They're going to be playing Thing. Dro is going to be playing that Moon Knight specifically. I have loved Cable on this Punisher, so I'm respecting them locking it into an I'm So Niche. Unfortunately for them, though, they're having to stick on to that Gambit role because it's too valuable to give up, especially if you have it available.
Really interested to see Moonshot stick to this Wolverine. Some people have called Thing like a fake counter to Wolverine. Like that's kind of effective because you still get like interrupted, right? You don't get carried off the course.
Also a lot of damage too.
Yeah, there's just a lot of damage follow-up as well. Like I'm interested to see with Moonshot's damage and Sparkalicious getting that extra 10 magazine clip, right?
More dire with every new
Will this Thing actually be able to survive? Are they actually be able to do anything? And on top of that, Bloxus is playing Fruit. That's a horrible matchup for Thing.
Cosmic importance, Peter Quill.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in if you are Xavier based on this composition that they're playing. So I'm really curious to see, you know, the double Vanguard on their end, if that will be enough for them to change things up, right? We saw the solo Vanguard with the Doctor Strange earlier on in Domination. I felt like they were much more confident with that. They might honestly be getting held back with like a ball and chain by the Gambit because, you know, playing what's meta sometimes isn't the best. Playing what you're good at usually is, especially at this level.
Order already taking a ton of damage.
Oh man.
Bye-bye.
Oh no!
Sorry. Moonshot, we got that all on camera. I don't know, that just flew by the venue there. I saw Wolverine just over there, but unfortunately he will get about 8 more seconds to get to try again here. Cable even knew what happened? Like, did he even like figure out like, oh, there's
Must
a
have been the wind.
Wolverine. Yeah, must have been the wind there, and stayed laying punishing fire down 50% towards that ultimate. Dino does go down and no res available. I'm interested to see where Gamer Boy actually plays that, if it's farther back towards the point, and let's see if that can come back in here. Sparkalicious 50% counting. Cable does take down M is for Milk though, so that should stop McClancy's push momentarily, and Crow as well takes down Moonshot. This corridor, this map specifically, a field day for both Punisher and Moon Knight. If you just go through main, you're going to take a ton of damage.
Yeah, and I'm actually liking the position that we're seeing from Order and Dino, right? Making sure that they can focus in on the group. You see the grabs come through and focusing them out so they can't escape the rest of the team. Bulldozer, the big thing is going to be how they can use those ultimates effectively in these team fights. And Sparkalicious is actually getting soloed out by Cable so quickly. This team fight is massive. That's a good section off from the hand of Conchu, and actually pushed back into from the Emma kick. Unfortunately, they didn't get any eliminations off the ult.
Some damage being placed through though from Crow. Already at 40%. And the gold card just the hand of Conchu. Looks like the Judgmentary Executioner and the Legendary, or sorry, not the Legendary, Raging Royal Flush is going to be used here. Border 30 takes down blocking, let's get rest. Crow takes down Moonshot. Legendary now used. This time from Sparkalicious. Let's see how many he can return. Although it's interesting because Bulldozer time actually ended up dropping the Karmic Revival, but it wasn't enough. A CYA coming out from Gamer Boy to put the pressure on. Dino has the sign of seduction, and why not? It's an ult party. Everybody throw it down.
Trying to see if they can at least go towards the back line with it too, but unfortunately it's not enough. They do focus down on the Vanguard lineup on McClancy. Yamamoto coming through. He does manage to get a couple, actually 3 members, all instantly deleted by the Maelstrom and Bulldozer comboing together. So all of this hold strategy from Xavier does not matter. They'll push for the objective.
This is one of those maps that's very hard to TP onto. You have to get relatively far out of spawn, and Moonshot plays Iron Fist, plays a little bit of Daredevil, plays Strange as well. What can this guy do?
Struggle. They've been out a pretty breezy run so far through this. Teleport, as you mentioned, it does come through by Dro, I believe it is, but it's a little too late and last windy for Xavier as they do touch enough of the percentage for that first checkpoint. So McClancy are speeding through this one, I think even faster than we saw in Convoy.
3.5 minutes though to take point 2 and potentially point 3. Xavier did a pretty good job for, I would say, most of that time.
True.
But unfortunately, I think they just got a little too ult happy, and that's kind of something that is practiced over time, right? You don't know who's going to win the fight. You start popping more ultimates. Gamer Boy popped his ult, so Dino felt like he needed a sign of seduction, when that is one of your biggest counters to the Star Wars ultimate. Sign of seduction, big classic counter is Ro building ultimate charge here. Border 30, 80% in counting. Sparkalicious though has already built towards another legendary. Could be the difference maker, but Cable is able to take down blocks in the meantime.
Sparkalicious almost has the Galactic Legend available to them, and they'll probably be using it first haste as soon as they can find a good positioning for it. So all eyes on Xavier Knights on how they can prevent this effectiveness. And well, Border getting KO after KO with the haymakers is definitely one way to go, but going in a bit too deep and back towards their side. Thankfully, they are a chunk of HP, so they will survive. Getting healed by the team and actually gets them all of their ultimates as well. So this next big team fight with Cosmo and Empire, we'll see how it goes.
Amplified ultimate, Judge Jury Executioner coming in, but Xavier uses both of the strategies ultimates to try to win this fight. A bit of an overinvestment. Bulldozer time still has the Karmic Revival, but it looks like Dro and Cable are able to take down multiple members. Karmic Revival, born again. Ding, ding, ding. I didn't hear a dinner bell or a second round.
Maybe the Clobbering Time would have been good there, but they don't want to use it just yet, and they are deleted because of it. Could have been a good option just to stun them out. Yamamoto, speaking of stuns, does get the back line entirely. Xavier is deleted off the face of Clintar, and they will have to reset. Kumiho unleashed here by Emma's for Milk as they move on forward with the Nala stop.
Shot once again, landing that clutch eye of Agamotto onto the strategist backline of Xavier. I'm so niche in Gamer Boy. I don't know what they can do about it. They don't have an invisible with push. They're not opting in for it. No boundary, no tools, no nothing. It's really rough. They are paying the price. Order 30 has the ultimate available. Clobbering time can be massive to at least stall and stop a minute here. Big clobbering time lands onto double strategies in the back line. Bulldozer time and grounders are safe for now. Xavier, that's the go button for them. Can they get anything off of this? Dro's gonna drop the Moon Knight ultimate. Dro takes down Evans from real. Porter punches, blocks this, and even though they get res, it's a 5v6 now, a 4v6 in favor of Xavier. 45 seconds and counting for McClancy. They have to take a hard reset here. Potential last fight territory, maybe another one if they get the portal in time.
Great stop so far by Xavier. I mean, yes, they caved in the first objective, but they are taking their time on these team fights, using a lot of their ultimates, but they're winning them is the big thing. So McClancy, even with some investment of a portal and a last-ditch efforts, I mean, it might have been better to save that for later, but they feel like this is their time, do or die, to get involved.
YA comes in, immediately goes down. Grounders is gonna get res. Evans for Milk has the Kumio unleashed. Sparkalicious can go massive with this legendary Seize Cable out of position. Tried to take them down, and unfortunately, Sparkalicious finds him. Bulldozer time, Ren's Porter 30 does take down 3-shot though. So there's no TP available. Mind you, they used it earlier. Evans for Milk, you've got to pop that Kumio now, but unfortunately, Dro is able to take down Sparkalicious. The cable through the portal. A final dungeon. What a firing range for Xavier!
Raining terror from above. The Hell Carrier is going to be delivering pain and punishment against the competition here, and unfortunately, even with the res, it might not be enough. Too much damage and nobody able to touch the hand of Khonshu, delivering justice upon the battlefield.
Xavier's DPS, Dro, was able to build 2 Hand of Khonshus within
so fast.
30 seconds?
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely
can't let them have that.
brutal there. 13 and 12 finals, both
Wow.
of these duelists working hand in hand in tandem, and not to be outdone.
Porter doing a great job,
Yeah,
yeah.
own the thing, 9 final hits. Unfortunate, I feel like McClancy kind of fumbled a little bit at the end there. Like you said, the early portal usage, maybe not feeling they have enough time, as well as the CYA coming out and Grounders immediately going down. So you don't have a res for that last team fight, meaning even if you do go down early, it might still be a 6v6. And unfortunately, you cannot consistently rely on Moonshot landing multiple Eye of Agamottos. Unfortunately, 78% went down, portal wasn't available, no res, just a 5v6 from him.
Well, it looks like we might have a triple Vanguard lineup here for McClancy, having, a bit of a change-up here, specifically for Bulldozer, though. I like this option for them. I mean, no Moon, like, they do have Sparkalicious now on the Moon Knight, so have some potential with that, especially combing it with the Groot Moon Knight, as we like to see. But even then, I'm really looking for Moonshot to get some big Eye of Agamottos here, especially if they have Bulldozer distracting the backline enough, pulling their attention away in heals. And I think that's going to give them also the ult charge generation buff because of the freedom charge.
We're going to see what this McClancy composition can do. I mean, Grounders is going to have literally a rocket ultimate every team fight here. As the portal comes from Xavier onto the high ground. I love that, giving Dro and Cable a free fire. Sparkalicious, though, is able to take down I'm So Niche, and that portal was the portal of doom.
This is what we like to see from these Moon Knight players, having the off angle and just taking out the backline when they're least suspecting. Unfortunately for Porter, they do have to fall down, and no percentage giving to Xavier. Full hold strategy is the name of the game for McClancy, and building up this hand of Khonshu, he is also the one here for Sparkalicious.
Wounds are gone.
And Grounders build up the CYA, one of the big defensive tools for them, the only defensive tool right now. And Xavier trying to push on in. Dino, 43%. Border at 49. Dro, though, 90% in counting with that hand of Khonshu. Almost available. Sparkalicious on there, but Border takes down Moonshot. And I don't think the red is available. Hand of Khonshu gets dropped. Sparkalicious trades back, but Dro is taking down multiple members. Xavier have essentially cracked this point. Can McClancy come back? Moonshot did go down early, so he has the portal available, but can he get it up in time, and can he get McClancy one more fight?
I believe they can. They do have enough time, and it doesn't seem like anyone's going for the interrupt, so they have the they do touchdown. Possibly an amplifier from Grounders is enacted, but you see Dro doing so much damage to it. Does stay up because the heals are coming out from their team, but not long enough, and the rest of their team drops like flies, so McClancy will hold for now, and time ticks down even further.
2 minutes available for Xavier. McClancy Freedom charge, very, very close. 82% and counting. Moonshot, keep an eye out for him. Has been absolutely lethal on these Ayabagamotos. I'm looking for him to potentially end this next team fight. Gamer Boy, though, does have CYA. Border 30 has the ultimate from the thing here, the clobbering time. Dino, Psionic Seduction, as well as Cable. They're going to invest everything they can. They understand they've got a minute 45. Ayabagamoto lands on the right. Xavier, Moonshot, the hero that you are, gets another massive Ayabagamoto. Ignores the final judgment. Cable looking for the kill, but he can't get it.
He goes down on the back end instead, and it will be Dino getting that touch on the Sparkalicious, though, bouncing back and fighting with as much fury as they can. Bulldozer with a freedom charge to save the day, but it's not enough. The point will be taken by Xavier.
Oh my lord, McClancy, Moonshot lands a 3-man ultimate, but it doesn't matter because the rest of Xavier are able to carry that fight. Throw goes unimpeded. Now they've got 4 ultimates in the bank, ready to push. 3.5 minutes to get it past 114 meters. McClancy has to have the hold of a lifetime. Emmons for Milk has the Kumio Unleashed. Bloxus has the Strangling Prison. Are they going to wait for the combo with Sparkalicious? Are they going to drop it right onto Xavier? That's the big issue here. I'm So Niche does have Rage and Royal Flush. Gamer Boy takes Dro, a stun, clobbering time onto multiple members. Cable takes down 2, and I don't know if McClancy's going to have the opportunity to even drop any of their ultimates.
And the Kachu does come through, though, from Sparkalicious, and there's a great counter from Dro. Immediately takes them down in kind. Dino gets one, Porter gets another, and Xavier on a roll. Nobody can stop this torment.
They still have Rage and Royal Flush available. They still have the CYA. McClancy holding on to this, and I'm just not a big fan of this White Fox. It's not enough. They need more healing. Moonshot is like, hey, I don't have portal. It's 35 seconds until the wait time. They are pushing in. Somebody's got a touch. There we go. Bulldozer time on the Captain America is here. Looks like they're going to invest both the Kumio Unleashed and the CYA just to try to win this fight. That's a lot left in the bank. Xavier has the Rage and Royal Flush. Instead, they're going to opt to lose the fight. Why not? They've got 2.5 minutes bottable, and they can walk in, stroll in potentially with this Rage and Royal Flush and wipe McClancy clean and potentially take us to a map 4.
So much time available to Xavier. They are cool, calm, and collected, and I feel like I have to take back what I said earlier about the Gambit. They have been getting so much value out of these Gambit ultimates because of the speed boost, because of the damage boost, because of the ult charge as well that is boosted by using it, and it's been outpacing McClancy with their ult. So you got to see something that kidnaps a really big one, and Bloxless will definitely be able to deliver sweet justice to Dro.
What an absolute airlift coming out from Moonshot here. And Bulldozer time, just looking to waste as much time as possible. I love this. Rage and Royal Flush combined with the final judgment. Let's see if Sparkalicious can take them down. Unfortunately, the end of Contra doesn't land at Cable. Just needs 1 more health. Oh my lord, Sparkalicious takes enough, but somebody's got to take the point. Somebody's got to get on top. McClancy.
No one's touching.
I don't think anybody can touch. Border 30 has the ultimate available, but never mind. Xavier takes us to a map 4.
First ever map dropped by McClancy Crusaders. The Xavier Knights rally behind, and they will be the first team to at least make this roster bleed.
Very, very well played coming out here from the Xavier Knights. Dro gets the MVP.
Of course.
Probably has, what, 20, maybe 25 finals. Absolutely lethal. Drops the hand of Conchu onto them. Did a very good job, right? Building those up. And I was very impressed. Like I said, I'm a firm believer, Vaudable, that anything can happen on LAN, and we are 2 games away from a potential reverse sweep from Xavier. McClancy are losing their momentum.
The thing is, though, we go back to domination for this next map. So this was the domain at the end of it, at least for the McClancy Crusaders, and I feel like they go back to the drawing board. Banning the Moon Knight, banning the Gambit. Those were the 2 reasons why you lost. If you do leave those on the table, we could see it go to a map 5, and what a banger that would be.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see if McClancy's going to switch up their ban strategy, but then that leaves open I'm So Niche's magic, and he went absolutely crazy on the first domination match.
They still lost the duel with the Iron Fist, so I'm curious. I don't think you drop the Iron Fist ban, though, if you are the Xavier Knights. It's been working so well. You've been able to manage for the most part, and I feel like the Star-Lord maybe not doing as much as they would have liked to. The Phoenix could have had some more value there, especially deleting those Cosmic Yarn amplifiers.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Both of these teams very, reliant on those CYAs, I would say. Both of these teams understanding how powerful Rocket is, but we are going back to Hell's Heaven.
Okay.
Is that
okay.
possible? Okay,
I guess so.
once a map is played, you can go back to it. Hell's Heaven gonna be in store for us. I mean, that was the map
That was the
you know,
closest that we
Clancy
saw.
won on as well. If that's going to be their pick,
I respect
I'm excited for that. I respect it.
Run it back, you know, see if it's going to be enough for you to get the victory. But also the big thing here, too, with domination maps is you're not guaranteed the same sequence of sub-maps. So that could be a big difference maker here, right? Depending on which one we start on, the Super Soldier Factory, they looked really good on, especially when they were having the Punisher mirror. Imagine a Punisher ban, though. That's all I'm saying. Imagine a Punisher ban. Don't give them anything that they can use, and they used pretty well against you last time if you're Xavier Knights.
Gambit Punisher. Gambit Punisher. I feel like it was more the Gambit Punisher that
That's true.
tried and, you know, figured it out. I will feel like you were correct, right?
Yeah.
Gambit was kind of the big catalyst for some of these, you know, comebacks, I would say, from Xavier. McClancy, though, I think they recognize that. I think they've got a level head here, whoever the coaches are, whoever's in charge of banning. I think they understand what
there's
to
so
do.
much to ban against these teams.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
even with, you know, there being some certain heroes that do better than others. Definitely Moon Knight. I think that's the main thing. Magic you could deal with. We saw it. So now I'm really curious on what we see focused here from both teams. Xavier Knights will be the ones to ban first, and it will be, of course, the Iron Fist. McClancy Crusaders will answer in kind. Hopefully, with a Moon Knight, we'll see if it's going to be something else. So that still could mean that we could see a Gambit save from Xavier.
Yeah, Gambit save potentially. I mean, if
Ultron as well. They didn't have that available last time.
yeah, that's true. If I'm Xavier, though, do I give I'm So Niche his best hero here? Do I just save the magic? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Let's put the ball in his hands, right? He performed so well, even despite the loss in Game 1, like you mentioned. I mean, he was, what, 18 finals? I think he probably ended with 25.
Something like that,
like a crazy amount here. Now Xavier has to make the tough decision. What do we take away from McClancy? Is it something like the Doctor Strange, who has been giving them such a big trouble, Moonshot specifically? I like the group ban. I feel like group walls have been really detrimental in what they can do. And
Bloxus has been doing a great job with that.
Bloxus is just really good on that.
Ooh, the
hero.
thing as well, I mean, we saw how effective, I mean, even though we saw the effectiveness of the thing there again, I don't know if necessarily that was the right ban. I guess if you're trying to play more of that dive style, that could be the answer for it here. I'm curious if we see a Daredevil save, maybe. We could see that come out in some capacity for Sparkalicious, and that's exactly what we see happen here.
Where did you get your crystal ball? Because I think I got mine from the bargain bin. It's not really telling me everything. Very good call there, Bottomable. Xavier now, what are they going to protect here? I mean, they could go for something like
Gambit.
the Invisible Woman. The Gambit would be really nice. I don't know if they are confident in the Gambit mirror, though, if they want to run Star-Lord versus Gambit, because Sparkalicious was really, really good. See, they saved Namor last time. Yeah, but they saved Namor last time, again, on Hell's Heaven. They went to it on sub-map 2. They played it for, like, all of 30 seconds, got a Namor ultimate. I was like, nah, I don't like this hero. And they swapped away.
I would say for this one, too, you got to ban the White Fox, right? We saw how effective M is for Milk on it. But also, yeah, I get it with the Star-Lord there.
Yeah.
But if it's Sparkalicious playing the Daredevil, you know that they're probably not going to be playing the Star-Lord either. So the Gambit ban's going to come through because we didn't see that save. Personally, I would have rather seen the Gambit save for Xavier. They looked really good on it. But look at I'm So Niche. If we see this, okay, what's happening here? They're definitely not playing these heroes.
I don't think so. I think Cable, though, could swap over to that Phoenix if he feels
there we
a
go.
little
Yeah, Phoenix got through
confident.
for the first time.
Look at Moonshot, putting the gauntlet down. So, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not the only Magic here. I mean, this guy just play every melee duelist in the game?
I guess so.
That's a disgusting dive duo coming out. It's not as dominant as Daredevil and Black Cat, but Daredevil and Magic have run my ranked lobbies before. It is horrible to play against, especially if you're a strategist line that doesn't know what to do against it, if you don't have good patty cake here. Xavier, though, it's a little tough to dive them. Gamer Boy is going to be in a little bit of trouble on the Invisible Woman, but arguably one of the best individual strategies to play against dive because of how much utility you have. Border should be fine, and Dro obviously on the Ultron, not really a big dive threat. I'm interested to see if McClancy's going to swap over to the Phoenix because we see Rocket.
That's true. I mean, we could see that be the counter, but I think the big thing here to note is this Daredevil is going to give so much vision to McClancy, right? They'll know where I'm So Niche is coming from a mile away, especially depending on where they're positioning and going on those flanking lines. And Hell's Heaven is such a good map for flanking and for Daredevil specifically, so being able to chase down Border on the Rocket, you don't need a Phoenix because you just get in their face.
You also have the White Box on top of that. Like, there are 3 members that can instantly be on your backline in the blink of an eye with a ton of AoE healing.
Daredevil and damage boosted. Magic is going to be right pickings for Clancy.
Yeah, Bulldozer time was absolutely on this Ultron. Xavier can take us to a map 5. Point has unlocked here. Moonshot already wins the 1v1 in time zone niche. Magic for Magic, and that's going to deflate a lot of what Xavier wants to do.
Yeah, kind of regretting the Magic save at this point, especially because Moonshot showing their flexibility in their hero pool. The charms, though, are also going to be such a nuisance for Xavier because of M is for Milk. So they can't even go towards the objective, even with the damage boost of Doctor Strange. And with the team up, it still is not enough for them to actually take the first initiative on the objective. Mick Clancy, the side swap, actually looking pretty good.
I like Bloxus on this Magneto as well. Meteor M is going to be available in some of these fights here. And really good counter into like Ultron. You could also counter it into something like the Magic. A lot of high-level Magnetos have been using Meteor M into Magic to absorb the projectile so they can stop the one-shot. So Collision in the meantime is going to take down Cable, who instantly rage swaps away from the Phoenix. Says, all right, we saved Namor, I'm going to use it now.
I mean, I like to see them rocking it. We'll see if it's going to be enough to deal with this dive. But Moonshot is dealing with everyone on the side of Xavier. Fox is even on the Magneto getting involved too. So positioning is too effective from the Clancy. The slices and dices, the dives in and outs, his portals that we're seeing from Moonshot are too strong, and nothing can really counter them.
Yeah, and Sparkle blocks his stagger of both the rocket and the invisible, and that's even more percent being gained from just some overzealous positioning from Xavier now. Look at McClancy. They've got the CYA and the Rage of Ultron available. The map has changed, guys. No quiz. We'll see if Pro and Bulldozer trade these Rage of Ultron.
The controller also dive player as well to note here too, and they have the Dark Child available to them now. Here's the Cover and Amplify though from ground. Yeah, the Devil being let out as well from McClancy, and there's the combo, the one shot. How they like to call it for Moonshot against Cable, even with the res coming through. Rage of Ultron available for Dro, and they'll try to be as effective as they can. Abagomoto only gets Moonshot. It's not going to be enough to take anyone down from McClancy, as we do see the rocket fall in the back line.
Dark Child available, Moonshot going to work. Gamer Boy does go down. Front collision takes down Dro, and one after the other. Xavier is falling. McClancy afraid of the Dark Child here. 99% overtime situation. Can Xavier flip it on its head, or is McClancy going to take a 99-0?
It is going to be a 99 to a overtime because the portal coming in at the last moment. Dro actually swapping to the Daredevil, but has no HP, no support from the back line, and the Dark Child is coming out from I'm So Niche. They need to slice and dice to keep their team in this fight.
One down. We'll see if he can do any more. Dark Child, one of those crazy ultimates, but Niche unfortunately recognizing that, hey, my whole team is gone. My Dark Child is not going to be useful here. And McClancy.
Oh no, the portal, they didn't touch because of it.
Makes them invulnerable, puts them into the demon realm. So that's not going to be a full C9, but Frozen Airfield going to go over into the hands of McClancy, and they are one sub-map away. This Super Soldier Factory could be the deciding factor in whether McClancy comes home as the champions. Yes, they can bleed Vaudable, but you've got to do more than that if you're Xavier. You've got to take these next two maps.
It's the deciding factor at this point. I'm sorry, I had to.
All right.
It's the end of the day. It's the end of the show. It's been a great time here at the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship presented by Army National Guard. We're here live from the Boeing Center at Techport. We still have multiple matches going on, Apex Legends as well. We see Valorant on the side stage too. Some more Smash matches happening in the background, and still lovely vendor booths to check out. So definitely recommend if you're in the venue, checking out the rest of it, as closing calls coming up in about an hour for the awards ceremony happening at the end too. So definitely stay tuned for that as well. But McClancy, they're looking to have curtain calls in this series and prove that they are the strongest roster, even if they drop a map.
Yeah, Bloxus has the Meteor M available. Looked at when Gamer Boy popped in on a bond. What are they going to do about it? Can they go back with Meteor M? Going to hammer them down. Evans for Milk does have the Kuniho Unleashed as well. Sparkalicious, 66%. This dive duo of Moonshot and Sparkalicious has been wreaking havoc onto Xavier. The point has unlocked and nobody's gone down just yet.
A tough spot to be in for Xavier as they want to easily take this spot, but unfortunately for them, they only have the Eternal Bond that keeps them sustained. Kuniho Unleashed form doesn't get anyone, but we do see Caleb going down immediately. Great one from Sparkalicious, but I'm So Niche also gets the backline, so we won't see much effectiveness from the Rocket Raccoons. Bloxus Nemesis for Milk dropping like flies, and finally a first team fight technically won by Xavier.
A little confused here, right? Bloxus heard the Eternal Bond, saw it coming in, opted into not using the Meteor counter. So now I'm looking towards maybe countering Dro, who has that Kraken impact, potentially countering Cable, who is 25% away from that Rage of Ultron. I mean, you can't just hold on to it forever. Bloxus has had this since map 1, although Moonshot and Sparkalicious have their ultimates available. I'd like to see them stagger them, though. They use both of them at the same time. Hayabagamoto comes in from Dino, though. Massive onto McClancy, and wait a minute!
Okay.
Dino says, hold on, Moonshot, you're not the only one that can land multi-man eyes.
Making up for the last time that they were in the Super Soldier factory
Yes.
and proving that, hey, maybe we are the ones who have gotten the serum injected ourselves and ready to prove that we are the captains of America from the Xavier Knights roster. But even then, 50% is not going to be enough to secure yourself a point. You need to go the whole length of it. They want to get 100% to 0, like we saw from the Clancy, but it's going to be a tough task to fulfill.
Right, it comes in from Red. Shot on the Clancy side, investing the Dark Tile. One-shot combos available. Bulldozer take down Cable here, and they're going to invest the Devil as well. They really wanted to win this fight, bottom of the Clancy. Starting over-investing just a little bit. 3 ults for virtually nothing here, but Xavier don't really have too much to work with. I'm So Niche has the Dark Child available. Rage of Ultron on top. Watch out for that Meteor M Bloxus. Surely you're going to use it now to maybe counter Cable.
Yeah, they need that as a counter to the Rage of Ultron as quickly as they can, and snipe them out of the sky. And you know, when they're using the Rage of Ultron, they are very vulnerable. It's very difficult to bob and weave with it. So we'll see the Devil's Chain come through and see if there'll be enough for them to do some good damage. Because I'm so pretty sure it is using the Dark Trap. Meteor M comes through the counter Cable, and it doesn't get the hit that they wanted. It actually takes on the backline. Gamer Boy 7-2 goes down, but doesn't matter to Xavier because they are still taking out the front runners of McClancy. Both of the White Foxes did get the lead. The Rage of Ultron for Bulldozer just come through.
Around here, Clancy's own Rage of Ultron might be the difference maker. Grounders goes onto the Duelist Rocket. I have a gun, I'm not just a support, and is able to wipe away Xavier and flip the point back. McClancy, 55% and counting.
This is a good comeback from them. They want to close out the map here against Xavier, but Dro swapping it back to the Namor here, seeing if they can build up those ultimates even faster and at least take down someone who's on the massive objective itself with the Horn of Proteus and tying that proc. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of focus on MS for Milk in terms of going for elimination from Xavier, but I think they need to focus a little bit more on ground root as well.
5% counting towards that Horn of Proteus. Dino, once again, Hayabagamoto available in a little bit. Let's see if we can land another massive combo here. 83% counting for McClancy. They gotta take this fight dry. They don't really have a lot of resources. Evans Verville really needs to build towards that Kumio Unleash. Hayabagamoto lands only onto Grounders, but is it enough? He gets healed. He's getting saved right now.
Teleport.
Dino, unfortunately, not able to land as big of an ultimate as he did last time. Heading for Milk. He's gonna invest the Kumio Unleash. Grounders has Sway available. Both of them are trading back and forth. Sparkalicious does go down. Sway available. It's still a 6v6 as the BRB reses him back. Let's see if McClancy can get anything. Horn of Proteus goes down, doesn't land on anybody. Moonshot and Bloxus, though, from McClancy's side are wiping away Xavier. 99%. Gods may bleed, but you have to do more before you come for the king. McClancy takes it all.
A beautiful victory for a almost perfect sweep of the bracket, only dropping the one map earlier on against the Xavier Knights. The McClancy Crusaders will be your EGF national champions here at the Forge SDC, powered by Army National Guard. It's been a great event so far. We saw a lot more competitiveness between the two high school teams than we might have seen in some of the collegiate matches, but that just goes to show there's talent at all levels of competition, and congrats to them. And even Xavier Knights going home with at least something, because they were the only team to take a map against this dominant force.
The Crusaders had to sweat just a little bit, and this was a performance from everybody, right? Moonshot, 12 finals, Sparkalicious, 10. I mean, they all played really, really well. Bloxus got the 7 on the Magneto, which is tough to do, especially if you're solo tanking, right? It is.
It's crazy.
It's not an easy job to say, hey, I'm going to let the rest of my team get all the glory. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to hold the line as a solo Vanguard, replicant of solo queue experiences for him, probably. Well, Bloxus doing a fantastic job there. My SVP, let's call it, right? The one that you need. I don't think McClancy goes as far without him kind of taking that on the chin.
I mean, seeing the way that McClancy performed, they were facing adversity, you know, after losing their first map, and most teams you'd think would be stressed after that, right? You are
100%.
having such a dominant performance, you feeling on top of the world, you almost full held them too on Clintar, and then eventually it didn't work out in your favor afterwards, and we saw such great defensive efforts on that map specifically from Xavier Knights, but they just proved like, hey, we have the strategy, we're going back to the map that we played it so closely and closing things out early. That just goes to show that they have the championship mentality, that they know that they have any composition that's thrown at them, they can just throw the same thing back in some capacity, mirroring with the Magics there at the end. We saw the Punishers the first time, and it doesn't matter what is played against them, they will come out on top, and that's what they've proven here today.
Yeah, they figured out the ban system. After that loss, it's like you said, always interesting to see how they're going to be able to take that. So really, really good. Ingested the loss. They took it. Right? Most teams would falter, like you mentioned, but they understood what they needed to do. They figured out the ban phase. Shout out to the coaches, or the analysts, or
and
even
the players.
Whoever is in charge of the ban phase or the picks and bans. Maybe it's one of the players there.
Yeah.
Really good dissection, and that's sometimes how you can win those matches. They can be won in the ban phase. Obviously, you have to execute on those heroes, but I think a lot of that comes in with proper preparation, which you saw McClancy was there.
Oh, yeah. Probably our most entertaining Marvel Rivals series that we had on the LAN, at least for the main stage here so far. So congratulations to both teams for that one. But we do have Lemon Kiwi on the stage with the winners. Take it away.
Thank you so much, casters. Yes, I am joined by the EGF Rivals Champions. Give it up for the McClancy Crusaders! And to say a few nice words and to award them their trophy is Tyler, the founder and CEO of EGF.
Thank you so much. Everyone, I'm so thankful to be here, and I'm so glad to see these smiling faces on the now champions for the Marvel Rivals. I've watched teams from all over the country for the last 10 years perform some of the most incredible performances, sometimes miracles, in all sorts of competition. So it's my distinct pleasure to have you guys here to share this moment with you. So thank you everybody for being here to support them. And with that, I'll give you the EGFH 2026 Marvel Rivals Champions.
Congratulations once again, McClancy Crusaders! And I need to steal away an MVP as Tyler's gonna go say thank you to everybody. I mean, I'm here with Sparkalicious. Hello. I mean, you are a champion at such a young age and at such an early stage of your career. How much does this mean to you?
It means a lot, because at the start I wasn't even gonna join the team when I heard about it, but I did. I heard about the event. That's why I wanted to come. So winning it's important to all of us.
And how was it being on a stage? Were you guys nervous? How did you handle such an important match like this?
We weren't really nervous until we lost game 3. Then we were a little nervous, but then they let Daredevil through, so I was able to play my best character, and then the nerves went away. We won.
Yeah, you were confident, you looked like it, and you took over the match. And now that you're a champion, what's the future like for you guys? MRC, Ignite, or what's next?
So I'm playing next year in college, and I mean, I don't know if we would be able to play any of those tournaments because they all play on different inputs, but if we could, I would want to.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in college. Congratulations on that. Congratulations once again to the McClancy Crusaders! And I'm gonna let them go celebrate with their very shiny trophy. You guys go and have fun, and that is the end of when it comes to our tournaments, but we have some awards to be giving out, so we gotta set everybody up on the stage. We're gonna throw it to a quick break, but when we return, we have some more shiny trophies to give out.
You'll still have common days. Forget someone's name mid-conversation. Count your tips at the end of your shift. Buy something disappointing off the internet. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Scholastic Esports Championship. I'm still living Kiwi. I'm roaming around, and I wanted to go and visit one of our partners. I am here with Staff Sergeant Flores with the Army National Guard. So there's video games here. What is the Army National Guard doing here?
Yeah, so currently we have some VR experiences here where people can see some of the jobs that we do. A lot of them, with natural disasters. So we have hurricane rescue, we have helicopter rescue too, where some people are stranded in the mountains. Wildfire rescues, those are pretty common in California and such. So we're going to showcase that, show a lot of people what we do.
Yeah, you were telling me all about the adventures that you go on. That seems like a ton of fun. And why is the Army National Guard sponsoring an event like this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're showcasing your alter ego, right? So we have a ton of gamers and weebs, right, within our community, right? So whenever we're not wearing the uniform, we also game, right? And regardless of the job you do in the Army National Guard, it's 1 week in a month, 2 weeks out of the year. Outside of that, we have teachers, we have engineers, we have nurses, we have law enforcement. We have a big group of people, and we all come together and, especially for natural disasters, help out our local community.
And you guys have gamers, which is our favorite part. There's a ton of gamers here, so I hope everyone at the venue can come and check out the Army National Guard booth, learn so much more about Staff Sergeant Flores here. Thank you so much for your service. And after this break, we're going to have some awards to give out, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship. There has been so many tournaments going on today, so we want to make sure Tyler and I, founder and CEO of EGF, by the way, we want to make sure everyone gets a moment in their spotlight to relish with this very shiny trophy. So our first award, our first championship, is the champions of EGF Valorant. So please welcome to the stage, Hamilton Southeastern! And you may receive your trophy from Tyler. Show it up! You guys are champions! It was a hard-fought journey. You guys did incredible. Thank you for joining us on the stage. You may go and celebrate with your shiny trophy as we give our next award out. Thank you so much for joining us on the stage. We got so much time to take photos, and we have another shiny trophy. Oh, Tyler, you're doing great, my assistant. Wow. We'll clean up the trophy. And up next, our champions of EGF Rocket League, it's Benjamin Franklin! Congratulations, Benjamin Franklin, Rocket League champions! Oh, you guys got fans. You guys got fans. You got to go give some autographs. So I'm gonna let you get off the stage. Thank you so much. Big congratulations all again for our EGF champions. And we have more awards to give out around the corner. The Forge Scholastic Esports Championship MVP Awards. So, gotta throw it to a break. We gotta get some winners on stage. I'll see you after this.
Hey everyone, if we could get everyone to the front of the arena, very shortly we're going to have our uncommon
Welcome back, everyone, to the Forge Scholastic Esports Awards presented by the Army National Guard. And speaking of which, I got Staff Sergeant Flores here to give me, to not give me, but some other people some awards. I mean, I'd like one, but you know, some very deserving players. We have the Forge Uncommon Award for the player who stays locked in when the match gets chaotic, the one who keeps the team steady, makes the right call under pressure, and proves their uncommon side when it matters the most. And we have 4 awards to give out from all of our different partners. So starting with the ECAC Forge Uncommon Award, please come to the stage, Jonah 10 Kyle from Trine University, who competed in Overwatch. Congratulations, 10 and from Trine University. Up next, we have the award, the Forge Uncommon Award for the EGF side of things. Please join me in welcoming Mateo Scuffed Hits Amy from High Tech High School. Congratulations, Scuffed Hits, and he comes with a bodyguard. You don't have to recruit him. And compete in Smash Ultimate, by the way, not an easy game. And from the NECC, the Forge Uncommon Award goes to Johnny Ao Jun Chen from Grandview University. That one was light. He held it with one hand. You gotta recruit him too. And that was for League of Legends. So, and up next we have the Forge Uncommon Award for R20. So let's get loud for Joseph Sloth Martinez from Warren High School. Well, Sloth seems to have the most amount of fans, and thank you so much, Staff Sergeant Flores and the Army National Guard, our main partner here for the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship, and much love to also Port San Antonio and all of our partners, ECAC, EGF, NECC, R20. It is not easy running tournaments like this, so please show some love to production, and also love to you for joining us in the venue, and if you're watching here from home, this has been the Forge Scholastic Esports Championship. I've been your host, and I will see you next year.